that are black shirts.
Not a test, not a drill. I didn't realize we were on camera, so I got extra short shorts, and I have an oversized t-shirt, which is comfortable, but makes me look like a blimp. So
yeah, I got
camera. There it is.
I got a thin or like a shirt that's a little too small for me, so you'll be seeing all the curves. This is the OnlyFans episode for Battle School Dropouts.
I was gonna mention it when I brought up OnlyFans on the last episode about the same gag we're repeating here, but I've been getting I guess I don't know, promos, I guess, on like Instagram and YouTube for OnlyFans exclusive like comedy shows. No sex, nothing. Like just a totally ordinary, fully clothed like comedian. In this case, it was a lady, but I'm pretty sure there are guys doing it too, and they just comedy, and sign up for their OnlyFans if you want to see more of their comedy stuff.
Well, OnlyFans was kind of like pitched initially as like a way to like get closer to content creators and stuff like that, like have almost like Patreon basically.
Yeah.
But then it was all like a lot of adult content, and then they tried to get rid of the adult content, and it almost tanked their business.
Almost destroyed them. Yeah.
Yeah. So now it's like impossible to pivot away from it. I mean,
well, like Crunchyroll used to be a piracy site. Nintendo used to make trading cards. You know what I mean? Like what it was is not what it is. But like OnlyFans is trying to pretend it's what it is and what it was, and that does not. I don't know the analytics. Maybe there's plenty of people coming in droves to watch comedy on OnlyFans. But like, could you imagine someone's like, dude, I saw this really funny bit, and they pull up their phone to show you, and they OnlyFans.
The brand is too synonymous with adult content. Yeah, like, oh, dude, like check out this OnlyFans. It's like, not now, dude. We're on the bus.
We're at work, dude.
Yeah. Oh man.
Well, should I do the intro? Do you want?
You can do the intro this time.
Sick. Welcome back to Battle School Dropouts, a podcast about anime and friendship. My name is Bakari.
And I'm Stew.
Yes, you are. And today we watched 6 episodes of, check this out, Reborn as a vending machine. I now wander the dungeons. Maybe in another world was in there somewhere.
I don't think another world was in there, but it should be.
Yeah.
Because fuck it. We watched the Vending Machine anime.
We sure did.
And boy, do we have thoughts about the Vending Machine anime. You know, I feel like we always give away the game at the beginning of Battle School Dropouts. We always say how we feel, and I'm not. You don't know what I thought. Maybe I loved this Vending Machine anime.
Maybe
I think it's really the sleeper hit of the season, or the year, or of all time.
You know, this build-up is making me think maybe you don't, but you'll just have to watch like an hour into this podcast to find out.
Yeah, you have no idea how I feel, Bakari. Yeah. just no idea what I'm gunning for.
Very curious, yeah. Well, before we get to that, how are you doing?
I'm doing real good.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm trying to think of anything fun I've been doing, but nothing. Yeah, I got nothing fun. How about you?
Nothing fun.
Nothing fun. No, I got plenty of fun.
I'm doing pretty good. I'm trying to think like, yeah, what have I been up to?
Yeah. Well, let me hit you with. So I've been playing. So I got Netflix to work on my Roku. I have this. I'm not gonna say what it is because it's working for me, and I don't want anyone else to know.
They could be listening.
But I have a thing that a ritual that I perform, tech priest style, and by doing so, Netflix has been working for me. It has not been booting me out saying that you can't share passwords or whatever.
Is it like a VPN or something?
No, it is not anything that makes any kind of sense. I'll tell you that much. I'll tell you off camera, and you're going to be like, that's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. But it has worked every time. And so it's like the equivalent of like rubbing your tummy and your head, like, and patting your head at the same time. It's like that kind of shit.
Hey, if it works, it works.
It works. Yeah. So I've been doing that, and so I finally finished Cyberpunk.
Oh, nice.
That anime. We talked about it last time we hadn't finished it. Finished it. Really fucking good.
Yeah?
Yeah. Stays high on the list.
I figured that it would, like all 6 episodes we saw were good, and there was like, what, 10 total?
10 total. Yeah. We watched like most of the show.
Yeah.
So that was really good, but it made me want to play Cyberpunk.
Oh, of course.
And so I've been deep in Cyberpunk 2077.
So I kind of I haven't played Cyberpunk at all, and I need to go. I watched Tyler play like an hour of it maybe when it first came out, and it was still like super buggy. But so I kind of figured if I did ever jump into Cyberpunk, it would be really disappointed because I was expecting the game, and it wouldn't be that. So how is it feeling jumping in?
So it's not as cool as the anime.
I think I said I was expecting the game. I meant expecting the anime.
Expecting the anime. It's not. It's nowhere near as cool as the anime, but it's solid. I mean, it's got issues. It's like not immersive in the slightest. Like the NPCs are just all fucked. But the story is good, and the thing that I'm realizing about it is, like, I'm doing like a katana blade build. Like I'm making my character a super weeb.
That's how you do it.
And
study the blade.
Study the blade, exactly. So I was doing all that, and I was playing, and I'm like, this combat is not great, but I'm having fun. And I realized that's exactly what I say about Skyrim, and that Cyberpunk is my new Skyrim.
That makes perfect sense. It's just kind of a big world to go fuck around in.
Yeah, and just have fun, and like you have so many options with how you can explore and whatnot. So yeah, Cyberpunk's the new Skyrim is what I say.
That's I kind of feel the same way about Final Fantasy 15, which I've been playing. So
yeah. Well, so what I wanted to ask was, like, I feel like, so people have like comfort TV shows where it's something that they'll just like always have on.
Totally.
Like The Office, Friends, like they'll rewatch it over and over and over. Whether just because it's nice or you have anxiety or anything like that. And I feel like I have a lot of like comfort video games. So I wanted to ask you, what are your comfort video games?
I do definitely have a comfort show, and it's Veep.
Veep, I know you are in a constant state of watching
constantly.
Veep.
Yeah. Just finished it again like last week and started it over. What was it? Comfort game though. Honestly, I don't spend a whole lot of time on one particular game. Like
there's not like a game you come back to over and over.
Like there are, but it's kind of like few. It's not like something I'm just constantly playing through. Like I guess the closest thing I could say to that is like, I don't know, maybe Sonic Adventure 2.
Okay.
Or like I'm trying to think. I feel like there's something else, like Devil May Cry 5 on occasion, or like the Bayonetta, the first one. Yeah, but like there's no one particular game.
maybe Veep's taking care of it for you.
Yeah, kinda. Like because that's my going to sleep show a lot of the time.
Okay, because I have a few movies that I'll watch over and over, but
sure.
I realized now that I've been out of school for a minute, it's like I don't watch them as often, and it was because they were like things that I would put on while I was working.
That's
and
fair.
Like Dredd was a big one.
Dredd, the
Judge Dredd movie,
2012, 2013,
yeah,
the Carl Urban one.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
Great movie, absolutely fantastic. I think I've seen it about like 20 times because I would just be working on a project and I would just put Dredd on. It was actually a little tragic when the CD drive in my computer broke because then I couldn't watch Dredd anymore.
Oh, that is a bummer.
Yeah,
I do. I've formed a weird relationship with Saint Seiya. It was called Knights of the Zodiac on Toonami.
Oh yeah.
It had the Bowling for Soup cover of "I Ran" by a Flock of Seagulls as the opening theme song for some reason. I've developed a weird relationship with it. I didn't understand what the fuck that show was about when I watched it on Toonami as a kid, but recently, so as you know, I make music, and the problem with working on music is A, it's time consuming, and B, you can't listen to music while you make music. It's besides the song that you're working on, right? So, and with how I get distracted, if I'm just using my ears, like I'm listening back to a track or something like that, and my eyes start wandering, it's very easy for me to jump on Twitter or something.
Yeah.
Because I got my two monitors and everything. And then like all of a sudden I've wasted 20 minutes looking at Twitter. So what I ended up doing was I on my second monitor, I would put usually Retro Crush on and just like totally on mute, just like have something going on the other screen so I can kind of look at it while, I'm listening to whatever I'm listening to. And recently that has been Saint Seiya. So no subtitles either. I just see what's going on, but to this day have no fucking idea what that show's about.
Well, there's the Knights, and they have Zodiac Signs.
That's what I figured. Well, you say that, but like I think Saint Seiya's Zodiac sign is Pegasus, which I don't think exists.
No, that's one of them. I'm sure.
I don't think so.
You're good.
Yeah.
You want me to name all the Zodiac signs?
Go for it. Hit me.
All right. So there's Crab, Rock, Pegasus, obviously.
Of course.
Bigger crab, scorpion, sideways scorpion, centaur, a large badger, a hefty man, a plastic bag, two guys who might be arguing, but they might be friends. You're not really sure. They're a little too far away. And another rock. That's all 12. So yeah, Pegasus is one of them.
You're referencing something here.
I don't know what I just did.
Because like a couple of the, like a scorpion is one of them.
Sure.
There's one with two guys.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, dude. I know all the zodiac signs. That's all of them.
I don't know enough to argue with you on it, so I guess so. Yeah.
So I'm right.
One of those was Pegasus.
Let us know which of those 12 you are in the comments.
Yeah. I'm a Pegasus rising. I'm a two guys arguing, but maybe they're just what was the two guys arguing?
It's two guys arguing, but they might be friends. You're not really sure. They're too far away.
Yeah, two guys arguing, but they might be friends or two. That's my rising sign, I think.
That's your rising sign. Yeah. I'm a crab into bigger crab.
Into bigger crab. Potent combo.
Yeah. It's why I'm so powerful. But yeah, man.
This got away from us.
This got so far away. What were we doing here? Where am I?
We were just shooting the shit, and somehow we managed to get derailed from that. I've been playing Final Fantasy 15 recently.
Yeah. So tell everybody the crazy thing that you're doing.
So last episode, I talked about how I had recently beaten Final Fantasy 16, and I had this little idea. Wouldn't it be fun if I played all the numbered Final Fantasies in reverse order? Because I just beat 16, so like then we go back to 15, and so I did that. And to be fair, I had started a file on it maybe last year on 15.
Okay.
Maybe last year, and I'd gotten to chapter like 4 or 5 or something like that out of 14.
And
15.
You just started from there?
Yeah. Just
can't
raw
do
dogged
that,
it.
man. I mean, we talked about it 100 times, so we don't need to get into it. But that just sounds insane to me.
No, that's the thing, because if I see that and I go like, oh, okay, well, I don't remember what's happening. I don't remember how to play this game. Let me just start a new file. That file is doomed. I won't even get as far as I got the first time because it's just shit I've seen already.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah, like I picked up how to play the game again in like 10 minutes or something like that, and there's a cool story going on, but it's the telling of it is kind of confusing. I think because a lot of it is kind of locked in the DLC.
Well, yeah, and there's like a whole fucking movie that you're supposed to watch at some point.
I never saw Kingsglaive, actually. Yeah, that might make a lot more sense.
Like such an insane way to make a game. It's like, oh yeah. By the way, you have homework.
Yeah, that's important. You've got a lot of homework. You got four different DLC chapters, because they didn't do a chapter Luna Freya. So yeah, 4 DLC chapters and the movie. Ideally, those make the story make more sense. But yeah, aside from that though, and aside from the combat being very silly, I've had a lot of fun with that.
It's wild to me that a game that is about hanging out with your dudes on a road trip is a complicated story. That should be illegal. Like that should just be hanging out.
Like it is, it's like by and large, it's mostly just hanging out, and you can hang out as much as you want to. You can hang out in the car, you can go walking around. There's a boat you get later, you can ride birds. There's lots of ways to hang out.
Gotta love boating with the boys, dude.
Exactly. Yeah, it's very chill time. Just go fishing. But yeah, and like that's the thing is like a lot of the story kind of happens away from Noctis, the main character. Like, so the DLC stuff, each one stars like a different, so there's Noctis, main guy, there's the big dude with the mullet, Gladio, and then his like nerdy friend Ignis, and his like very, very close, like kind of goofy friend, Prompto. And at some point or another, your 3 friends get separated. Like Gladio just kind of goes like, I gotta take care of some stuff. I'll be back when I'm back. And then he just fucks off.
Hey, I'm Gandalf now. And he just leaves.
Yeah. And then he like comes back and he's like, yeah, took care of it. And he's got like some scars on his face or whatever. And Noctis is like, what's going on there? And he's like, don't worry about it. And that's it. You don't learn anything else. Prompto gets separated for a while, and when he comes back, he's like in the middle of all this like inner turmoil about the fact that he's like not a real person or something. He was like fabricated or something.
Oh my god.
And you're just like, you good, man? He's like, yeah, I'm fine. Yeah. That's it. You just keep going.
That's the most dude relationship, though,
really
right?
Is.
Like,
he's like, I'm a synthetic being. I don't have the right to call any of you friends. I don't have the right to call myself a human. And Noctis is like, you good? He's like, yeah I'm fine.
Yeah,
just keep going.
Yeah. I mean, that's peak dude relationship where it's like you're dealing with like the heaviest thing in the world, and then somebody's like, "Hey man, you all right?" And you're like, "Yeah, no, I'm good.
Yeah, we're fine. You hit him with a damn that's crazy, and you move on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because that's the other thing is like if you do unload on that person, that's a wrong way to phrase it. But if you do say what you wanted to say to that person, the person just kind of goes, "Oh, whoa.
Yeah,
well,
shit,
if you ever
man.
need to talk about it, let me know," and then walk away.
What do you think we're doing? Yeah. So I beat the game. It was neat. Had a lot of fun with it. I kept it installed so that I can go back and do some side quest stuff once in a while. So I think that is kind of becoming my comfy game. But you know, in the interest of finishing these before I'm 60, I'm just keeping it moving along. So I'm almost done with 13 now.
Because you're not doing any of the sequel numbers.
No, we're not doing any of the sequels, like so 10-2, 13, 2 and 3, none of those. And also skipping the MMOs, so 14 and 11.
No, 11, yeah. Dude, you're not going to play through the entire MMOs?
I did play through the entire like 14.
But you're not going to do it now?
Mostly. I think there's like 1 or 2 patches before the next expansion that I'm not current on.
Can you even play Final Fantasy 11 now?
I think they just like brought it back to some degree.
Okay.
I think they've got like a classic server or something, which is insane because as I understand, like release build 11 is extra nuts.
Yeah. Because that was another one that they kind of had to like redo some stuff or whatever. Yeah.
Or something. I don't know.
I don't think it was to the same degree.
Yeah.
But
it wasn't like a Realm Reborn where they just everything had to go. But yeah. So playing through 13, that one's also insane. The story is kind of nonsensical and I don't know. It's just horrifically paced. For like half of the game, from chapters like 3 to 9 or 10 out of 13, mind you.
Good.
You only get 2 party members at a time.
Like lightning and somebody, or lightning and somebody and somebody?
No, so just lightning and so start of the game, there's lightning and then she meets Saz and then there's like Hope and there's Snow and all these people. So it always just so happens that like so lightning and Saz are paired up, like they're running around together, and then something happens and like, oh, looks like it's Saz and Vanille like hanging together and they're moving one way, and then Snow, Hope and Lightning going the other way. I don't fucking know if I'm saying the right words. At any point, the game just sets you up so you only have 2 people in a party. And the thing is, like, the entirety of the game, like the combat system is like you decide more roles that your characters are going to play and less like their individual actions. So there's like the magic attack guy, there's the physical attack guy, there's a healer, there's, blah, blah, blah. That is not a very engaging system with only 2 people. So I go, okay, this one's going to use physical attacks and that one's going to use magic. And then when the HB bar goes from green to yellow, showing that I've taken some damage, I switch the magic guy to a healer guy and keep the physical attack guy the same. And then I switch back once the healer guy has healed who they need to heal. That's
my favorite thing in like both like complicated RPGs and then also like I play a lot of like 4X strategy games where like they're really, really complicated. And I love
like Civ and stuff.
I love when they're super complicated, but you figure out like the one really easy thing to do and you just do that forever.
Yeah, it is very much that. It's gotten a lot more engaging now that I do have I have my full party together. I can switch out who I want to be in my party, except Lightning. No, I'm now at the point where I can even change the leader. But
wow.
Yeah, chapter 10. No, I'm at chapter 11 actually. So I have 2 more chapters until I beat the fucking game.
And then that's why you got to play the sequels.
But then we just start over again.
Yeah.
Like those characters aren't even in 13.
No, I'm actually almost positive that the 2 sequel games just have you playing as Lightning and that's it.
I think 2 has you play as Sarah.
Oh.
Yeah, Lightning's sister.
Right, because Lightning returns in the 3rd one.
Indeed. She has to go somewhere to return.
Yeah, you can't just be like, Lightning returns like you were always here. Like that would not really work.
Batman returns. Where'd he go?
Yeah. Where was he?
Yeah. It's a weird ass fucking game, dude.
Yeah, Final Fantasy 13 really I think broke a lot of people's spirits. Like I remember 10 coming out when I was in I'll just say middle school. Yeah,
Like
it was middle
2001.
school. Yeah, it was
sounds
middle
right.
school.
Yeah.
And playing it, and I was obsessed with it. All of my friends were obsessed with it. We played it like crazy.
10 was cool.
Didn't play 11 because none of us had real good internet.
Yeah.
But then 12 came out, and it felt like some kind of betrayal. Like we were all mad at that game, you know? And then 13 just like everybody was done.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I knew a couple of people who stuck it out. I think I even knew somebody who liked it, but I can't remember who, but everybody was done.
Yeah. 12, we were talking about this earlier, as I understand, 12, the remaster, the Zodiac Age, is supposed to fix a lot of the problems that people have with it. I haven't messed with it yet because, not there yet. But I feel like there was some sort of like there was a real shift in like how people were perceiving turn-based RPGs around the turn of the millennium, because X came out, people liked, or 10 came out, people liked 10, but then like sometime between that and 12, they were like, no, it can't be regular old turn-based combat anymore. We have to do something to zhuzh it up.
Yeah, it seemed like they had just decided that people don't want that kind of game anymore.
Yeah.
And then they just stopped making it. And like 12 is, I don't know. I know people who hated 12 when it came out, but have really come around to it and really like it now. And I don't know if that's strictly the remaster helping things, or if it's like, okay, now that I'm not an angry teenager, I can like enjoy it. There's other elements too that I think like I think people don't like the main character.
I hate Vaughn.
Yeah.
Vaughn fucking sucks.
And
I hate Hope from 13 because he reminds me of Vaughn. I've gotten over that.
Is Hope the little kid?
Yeah, he's the one who like Snow accidentally kind of gets his mom killed, and then so Hope spends half the game doing like angry anime boy grunts at Snow, but like without actually confronting him about it. She just goes like,
"Oh, so wait,
he killed my mother."
So Hope's the boy.
Hope's the boy. Snow's the guy in the trench coat with the beanie.
I remember a buddy of mine, I came over and he was like playing through 13. I'm like, oh, I heard this game sucks. He's like, no, it's not so bad. And then we got to a cutscene that had that boy, and he was just so pathetic. And like, oh no, I just shitted and pissed my pants at the same time. Oh no. And it's like, so this is the game that's all right. Okay, cool. Yeah.
His
you gotta
arc,
rescue me. I'm so pathetic.
His arc is pretty much he ends up paired up with Lightning, and Lightning's like a super badass, and so he's like, wait, don't leave me behind, and she's like, then fucking keep up then, and he's like, okay, and then he tells her about Snow and what he did, and he's like, I wanna make him pay, and she's like, do it, and he goes, oh, but I can, and she's like, get fucking stronger then, pussy. And he's like, okay. And then he does. And then she's like, hey, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't have told you to kill that guy. Don't kill that guy. And he's like, no, I'm going to kill that guy.
No,
and then he tries and it doesn't work out. And Snow like saves him afterwards. And then they're best buds. Like Hope and Snow are best buds now.
Okay.
It took like a minute-long cutscene to change him from actualized murderous intent to like, we're best bros.
That's my favorite thing.
Yeah.
Is when you have a game that's 20 hours long, 40 hours long.
I'm well past 20. I'm like 26, 27. Maybe I've hit 30 at this point.
I love anytime something is that extravagantly long and characters have arcs that only change in like seconds.
Yeah.
Like that was a thing in like Game of Thrones. There were so many characters. I'm like, this season is 10 hours long and you're going to have this character shift in 2 minutes? Yeah. Like, what are we doing?
No, this is the game. Like, there's been so much shit in the last like chapter that I've been like, you've done fucking nothing this whole game. And now it's like, oh fuck, we forgot 3 of our characters don't have eidolons yet. Oh shit, we forgot to introduce a villain. Oh fuck. And it's like, we're on chapter 11, guys. You had 10 chapters to do something and you just now started. It's crazy.
I might be projecting this memory rather than this being something that happened, but sure. I watched somebody beat Final Fantasy 13, like play or I should say just fight the last boss.
Yeah.
And I was just like, so what's this guy's deal? He's like, I don't know.
I have a suspicion who the last boss is, but I'm not certain. So who knows? That is another gripe I have, though, is it took until chapter 10 to actually fight a like named character as opposed to just like big freaky like mech monster. Essentially,
it's me, Grumbo 10.
It is 100% that. It's just Grapshitto Maximus the Third or whatever, and it's just like well, okay, it's like a big rhino or something, or it's a big mechanical bush or a
Bush.
There is like a weird fucking Bulbasaur looking thing that you fight, and I couldn't tell if it was a robot or what its deal was, why it was trying to kill us. It's just there, and that's like most of the boss fights.
It's an upset series of leaves.
Yeah, pretty much. It is a bulb that's very angry at you.
Yeah.
And there's been one like guy who you fight and you're like, oh, thank God I get to fight a guy, and it's just a dude who's got ideals opposing mine. And then he turns into a big freaky mech monster. I'm like, okay, fine. The next guy you fight, it does more or less. He does a little transformation, but he's still a guy, Took until chapter 10 to do that. We're almost all the way through the game, and I have fought a bad guy. Pretty happy about that.
Yeah, that's great.
I sound a lot more negative about the game than I feel. I think like I'm having fun, but I am also very ready to be done with this.
Yeah, I do. I know exactly what you mean, where it's like, I'd like for this video game to end now.
Yeah.
Not the same, but with all these open world games like The Witcher and GTA and all those, I have had so many nights in my life where I'm like, I'm going to beat GTA tonight. I'm really far into the game. I'm going to sit down and I'm going to beat GTA 5. Yeah. And then I sit down and the game doesn't end. I play it until 3 a.m. and the game's not over.
That last push can be so draining.
Yeah. And it was the same for The Witcher. I never beat The Witcher 3. Everybody's like, it's the best game ever. I'm like, it won't end, so I don't know.
I can't get that far into The Witcher 3. Like, I've tried several times.
Dude,
I don't care for the combat, honestly.
Yeah.
I like the storytelling. I like the characters. That's all cool, but like, I just can't get into that combat.
I know. Well, and I'm very much the type of person who barrels through like the main story in like games like that, like any kind of big open world game. If it tells me where the next story mission is, I just go right beeline straight to it.
Yeah.
And that's actually what I really like about Cyberpunk is that it's not insanely long.
Oh, okay.
Like I just got the final mission unlocked in my game. And I'm like, I'm not even ready. Cyberpunk, not now.
Yeah, that's definitely a good sign. Like when when the game's like, yeah, go ahead and beat it, and you're like, well, no, I got other stuff to do.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. As opposed to the Witcher 3, I sat down on 2 different nights thinking, yeah, this has to be the end.
Yeah,
and I told people where I'm at, and they're like, oh, you're really close. I'm like, fuck you.
Bullshit.
Yeah, you're not tricking me. Then you can play all the DLC. No, the game, I need it to end.
Yeah. That was with 16. I was like, the game was like, all right, get on the boat. We're going to go fucking beat the bad guy. And I'm like, no. I got to go do everything else. But like 13 just so at chapter 11 is when you get access to like an open world. Up until that point, I say open world. It's like, it's a bigger map. But like up until that point, you are just walking down hallways the whole game.
That was another big gripe I heard at the time. Yeah.
That's the thing. 10 is kind of similar, but 10 at least gives you the illusion that you're going from place to place.
Well, you go to towns occasionally too. Like that's a big thing.
It's a straight line from one to the other, but at least the towns like have stuff to explore. Like 13 has none of that because you're on the run. You're like skittering through the sewers and whatnot. But like, by the time I got to the part where the game opens up, I'm like, not too fucking late. All right, let's just get me to the end. Okay, I do not care about any of this. You're not gonna side quests. No. You had the chance to do that forever ago. 24 hours ago, if you offered me a side quest, I would have loved to, but no, we're done here.
No, I'm over you. Yeah. It's too late to apologize.
There's apparently a crafting system where you can upgrade so there's a weapon upgrading system insofar as you can throw mats at a weapon and its stats will go up. Apparently there is a way to actually make those weapons like level up into new weapons.
Oh yeah. I
have not unlocked it yet.
I was talking to a buddy.
2 chapters before the game's over.
Yep. I beat Cyberpunk. Like I put like 30 hours into Cyberpunk, beat the game, and then talked to a friend who was like, yeah, you just have to like craft this item by upgrade. You have to upgrade the item by crafting this thing. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what?
Craft?
You can upgrade items? And I now probably have close to 100 hours in that game.
Wow.
I still don't really know what he's talking about. Like he told me like, yeah, you can upgrade items. And I've read online, like you can upgrade items. I don't know how to do it. And my character's too stupid in my current playthrough to do it. So I can't really engage with it.
How do you play 100 hours of a game without finding the crafting?
Because you don't need it. Because the combat's baby mode. I'm not playing on the hardest difficulty, but I'm one knockdown.
Yeah.
And I'm like one-shotting every enemy I come across.
Damn.
I'm able to slow down time and just chop their heads off with a chainsaw.
Shit, you got chromed the fuck up. Dude.
I got chromed the fuck up. David's got nothing on me.
That ain't shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Is that his ability? Is to like you're just going super fast
Yeah,
and slowing down time? Sick.
I'm gonna say the name wrong, but it's like the Sandevistan or something.
I can't correct you on it.
That's the You know, fuck it. It's the Sandevistan. That's the 13th horoscope. The Sandevistan, it's that spine thing that lets him slow down time. You can get there's like a dozen of them in that game that all have slightly different properties.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Neat.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's a cool game. They're gonna change all of that crafting and item nonsense that's in the game currently, apparently in the next patch. I'm trying not to get too excited, but I'm pretty excited.
Updating it? Oh, I guess it came out not that long ago.
Yeah, they haven't had like a big update in a while, but there's a DLC coming out late September.
Oh, okay.
And with that, they're gonna like get rid of the skill tree and all the things that I'm like I put up with in that game because it's kind of cool. I say that Cyberpunk's lied to me in the past, so it's lied to all of us in the past.
Who knows?
Yeah.
It's tough because I gesture with my left hand a lot, but it's like just out of frame, so I have to.
Oh, you're actually not too bad on that guy. I've seen your hand do some movements there, so we'll probably cut to the other camera. I think this is a better angle this time.
There we go.
But so let me ask you. This is apparently the Final Fantasy episode. What is there one, and as you're working backwards, is there one that you're excited for?
I mean, I'm kind of excited for each one in its own way. I love 10. I'm really curious about 12 because I too bounced the fuck off at 12 when I got it. I remember I was super excited. I day of, it was Halloween 2007, 6, 7, one of those.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah. I remember picking up the I rented or borrowed or something Dragon Quest 8 because it had a Final Fantasy 12 demo. Like I was super pumped for this game. And then it came out and I sat down and just like, when does it get good? And for as long as I played it, I didn't really care for it. I hate the main character and I hate his friend and and the combat, the whole like MMO, but it's first or single player type thing. I didn't really fuck with it. The whole auto attacking stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a hard one to get used to.
Yeah.
My friend who really likes it says part of his enjoyment is building out that auto battler system so that you get to a point where you don't have to play the game, and there's satisfaction in doing that.
I believe that.
Yeah.
I think I'm a lot better now at engaging with something on its own terms than I was in high school. So like, I'm excited to give it another shot. And like, I realize that I can, as soon as I get like Bosch and Ash and Fran and Balthier, I can just cut Vaughn and Pinello out and never see them again. So
I'll keep it short because I think I've mentioned this on the podcast before, but Van and Pinello were like last minute additions to the games allegedly. Yeah, so
that they were.
That's part of the reason they suck.
I hate the person who made that decision. I don't know who you are, but fuck you.
You are not invited on Battle School Dropouts.
Never. What's the opposite of an open invitation? Closed invitation.
Closed invitation. You got a
closed rejection.
We're going to send you a letter that says you're not allowed to come on this podcast.
You could show up right here and it wouldn't happen.
No.
Yeah.
Show us that letter. Nope. Okay.
But yeah, I like 10 a lot. I'm kind of dreading 9 a little bit.
Really?
I know that 9 is like, I mean, look.
9's everybody's favorite.
I don't get that. I don't understand.
Everybody
why.
loves it.
Look, 9 looks amazing. I'm like, I rarely hate on stuff, but like, here we go.
Everybody's gonna be gunning for you.
9 looks amazing, and the soundtrack is great. I think the characters are neat. That battle is tedious. It is, as I remember, it is very tedious. Like, it's just super, super fucking slow, and like just very few interesting decisions to be made, and. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that at all. Hey, maybe I changed my mind. Right. The whole purpose of this is so that I get a better understanding of this series that I like so much. But yeah, really not looking forward to 9 at the moment.
I think everybody should hop on X right now and create a post hashtag Bakari is over.
Did you just call it X?
I called it X.
I thought you were talking about Final Fantasy X for a minute. I was like, why would you do that? You just called it X?
I called it X. Dude, so I got blackout drunk like last month.
I love this segue.
Yeah, I got blackout drunk. I don't remember a goddamn thing.
Wow.
Had to go to work the next day.
Nice.
Hungover into oblivion. I'm at work and I got to kill some time.
Sure.
So I go to my old standby Twitter and I look and I go, Twitter's not on my phone. Oh my God. Did I delete it while I was blackout drunk last night? Because I hate Twitter.
It does suck.
And then I was like, I guess I deleted it. And I was considering downloading it. I like typed it in Twitter and it brought up like download X. And I was like, and I went through my apps and I saw that I had X. And I was like, oh. And I have to say this though. As soon as I realized that I had deleted Twitter, there was like this sense of relief. And when I saw X, I was like, I just have to complete the circuit. And so I deleted it and I have spent very little time on Twitter since.
You're better for it, I think.
Yeah. Dude, I can't, like, my Twitter feed used to be like the most heinous thing you've ever seen. like the world is about to end. Like scientists are out here telling us that the apocalypse is coming in climate change and that all these politicians are corrupt. And I would balance that out with hentai artists. And that was my Twitter feed. And it was a way to stay informed, but also like, it's going to be okay. And now it's just people dunking on Elon Musk. Like I blocked Elon Musk and people are posting images. I cannot escape from the man.
Apparently he's he has announced his intent to get rid of the block function. People quickly replied that you can't do that. They will take Twitter off of the Google Play and Apple app stores if you do that. And haven't heard about that since, but he did announce his intent to. I think it's because he found out how many people have him blocked. I haven't blocked, of course I do.
Yeah, because his not only are his posts bad, posts about his posts are also bad.
Also bad.
Yeah, nobody's ever dunked on Elon Musk, and it's been like, yeah, that was really worth my time. I can't wait to see that 8 more times in slightly different variations.
I feel like I saw like Hard Drive got a good one in once or twice.
Hard Drive doesn't really miss too often.
Yeah, like
so.
they're professional dunkers, so like that makes sense.
Yeah, leave it to the pros.
Yeah. Very true.
And that's the thing. So I've been on Instagram, and Instagram sucks for its own ways, but Hard Drive's on Instagram. I can just get out of it. And I know they're all this same fucking corporate whatever company. You know, I'm just jumping from Elon to Zuckerberg, but like
Zuckerberg still wins that cage fight like 10 out of 10
10
times.
out of dude.
No fucking shot Elon wins that.
I wanted to pirate that fight so bad.
I don't think it's happening.
It's not happening. No, Elon Musk's mom called off the fight.
His mom?
His mom. That's what I read. His mom like canceled the fight. Yeah. Well, she's rich too.
Well, yeah, but like
I know. Yeah.
Just say no, it's not off actually.
Yeah. Well, no, you can't. You know, it's his mom. It's the same reason why you can't like block Twitter and like like keep Twitter open in like authoritarian countries or whatever, you know. It's just my hands are tied. I love free speech though. Here I am dunking on him in the lamest way.
How about that?
I don't know. Sorry to bring the musketeer into here.
It's impossible to resist.
He's just so shit. He really is like he's the punchable face of the internet.
Oh, he really is.
Yeah. He's just got that energy all the time.
I've been on Instagram a lot more recently as well. But something I've taken a special fascination in. So like TikTok's all the rage right now, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm 32 years old, so of course I don't have it on my phone. I've never been on TikTok in any way, but it's interesting how every other platform has now ripped off TikTok.
Yeah.
Which makes it kind of silly. Oh, I'm not going to get on TikTok. And then I just watch Instagram Reels like it's not the same fucking thing.
Like, I'm like, I don't understand how people can be on TikTok all day. And then I watch Instagram Reels for an hour and a half.
Yeah. That's like me and Felicia's like downtime thing is like, I don't know what to do. We're just going to watch Instagram. We got different feeds. Oh, it's crazy. But the YouTube shorts, like the YouTube Instagram knockoff, is fascinatingly bad.
So bad.
It's on any. I don't know what the difference is between the days, but some days YouTube Shorts is trying to radicalize me towards Islam, and then other days it's trying to radicalize me against Islam. I get so much Muslim content other than my Arabic first name, I have no connection. Like my dad's side of the family is Muslim, but I don't fucking keep up with them, or my mom's side of the family for that matter. I just don't know my extended family. But like, there's no reason for this algorithm that has watched me every second of every day since I was 17 or whatever. There's no reason that they should think I'm Muslim or against Muslim. I don't know.
YouTube.
But like, I'll get something like, young Muslim men are eating pork and they are having casual sex and doing other haram things and like all this stuff. And it's like, you need to stop that and get right with the Lord. And then the next day it's like, Muslim people think that their religion is the only correct one, and that if through jihad and just this is why the Muslims are evil and must be stopped the next fucking day.
Yeah.
And I'm like, first off, both of these suck. Second, make up your fucking mind. Jesus.
Yeah, pick one.
You can't do both.
That's so funny.
In the same week.
I'm the anti-Muslim stuff unfortunately doesn't surprise me because I get like a heinous amount of like conservative stuff.
I get the occasional like Tristan Tate, not Andrew Tate, but his brother apparently.
I get so many fucking Jordan Peterson videos. I cannot escape that man's presence.
That sucks.
But the pro-Muslim thing, I think that's kind of funny. I didn't expect
like
that.
It's far less heinous than the whole like exterminate Muslims thing on the other side. But like at the same time, I'm like, you are preaching to the wrong fucking choir here, my guy. I have never ever been Muslim any point in my life.
That is funny because I've never gotten any kind of Muslim related content, but I have gotten Christian related content. Though really? I have watched videos about like Christian stuff before.
Yeah.
Like, videos explaining what Mormonism is, or like,
I'm all for educational stuff.
Yeah, yeah. I guess my thing makes sense. I don't know.
Is like, women, why are you letting men see your hair? Like, I was like, that's you super wrong audience for that, my dude. Like, you swing and a miss there. Try again.
Yeah, the YouTube Shorts thing is wild to me because YouTube has so much data about us, but when it comes time to like come up with rapid fire short content, it just fucking shits the bed, dude.
It's
like,
awful.
Like I'll be watching, and maybe there's a connection here, right? But like I always assumed that because like I watch podcast content, i.e. Battle School Dropouts, on my regular account.
Like and subscribe.
That okay, that's why they won't stop shoving the Joe Rogan podcast down my throat. Like,
I used to get a lot of Joe Rogan clips. I haven't gotten a lot recently.
So many Joe Rogan clips. But then I learned, like, I talked to other people who don't watch podcasts on YouTube or anything like that, and they get nonstop Jordan Peterson and Joe Rogan content either. And none of it's directly from them. It's people reposting them saying stuff on their podcast and all that with the same fucking dramatic music behind it
every time. There's like 4 fucking songs on that thing.
Yeah.
I also get a lot of just like out of context movie clips that like the runtime of the short is not long enough for that scene to like reach a satisfying conclusion. And it's not like there's even a part 2 or something. It's just like, I don't know, this clip from Wolf of Wall Street, and then the guy's like, sell me this pen, and Leonardo DiCaprio's like, you need a pen, right? And he's like, yeah, end clip. That's it. And it's like, great. Wow, I'm gonna go watch that fucking movie. Thank you.
I can't fucking wait. Yeah, the reposts of the movies are good. I watched like a couple Better Call Saul clips.
Oh sure.
And it was like showing how Saul's a badass or whatever. And then I started getting nonstop, here's Walter being a badass. I'm like, guys, you are so missing the point. Like unironic, like I'm the one who knocks as like he's so cool.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Actually, that does make me think of, there was I want to say it was Phil Jameson, who is a comedian on YouTube, but maybe it was somebody else. Someone I watched them like do a little experiment to see how easily they could get to the top of, like, I think it was r/best of, and all he did was take the link to OK Go, Here It Goes Again, the famous music video with the treadmills. Takes the link, posts it as is, and says like, this many years later with no CG, something, still one of the best music videos out there. Top page next day.
Yeah.
Like, it is that easy. Just like, Remember this thing? That's it.
Okay, so I wanted to talk about this too. I feel, and maybe this is a cross-generational thing, but like, so I feel very out of touch with all generations at this point, including my own.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand even like millennials to a certain extent. Like, I don't understand TikTok trends, the kids dancing and all that, but fine. It's just, I'm old.
People like to dance. That's fine.
Sure.
I got no problem there.
I'm 33. If you want to lip sync to a song poorly, like, you do you. Like, I'm only here to judge a little bit. And
real quick on that particular point, I think, so you remember how people our age on Facebook and MySpace and stuff like that would always just post song lyrics to like say how we're feeling and stuff.
Yeah.
That the lip syncing stuff on TikTok is the Zoomer equivalent of that. 100%.
Yeah, you're dead
just
on.
like I don't know how to express these feelings other than this song I like, and so that's how I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, and so like with younger generations, like millennials got shit on like crazy. I try not to judge too harshly.
Oh yeah, no.
You do you. Like, I'm never gonna say that this stuff should stop.
Everybody's got their weird shit. That's just fine.
But so like, my generation, I don't understand. And what I mean to get at is Magic the Gathering just posted, like, they just did this thing at like Gen Con or whatever. That
Didn't
was
expect Magic the Gathering to be the next part.
This is because this is where I'm losing my mind.
Okay.
Like, and just like I just don't get it. So they just announced that they're like the next like 3 years of stuff that they're releasing.
Oh wow.
Okay. Like just a ton of stuff. And some of it is kind of neat, but a lot of it is like, are you ready for more Lord of the Rings content? Are you ready for Magic the Gathering's X Fallout? Are you ready for
Fallout?
Are you ready for this Magic the Gathering set that's going to have Jurassic Park cards in it?
Okay, like a T-Rex card, that's fine.
Yeah, but like, and I'm just like, who's excited about this? Like, who at this point?
We really shit the bed when it comes to crossovers.
I guess like people just love it, and I'm like, when I hear that stuff, like, because Magic a little while back came out with Transformers cards in this one set, and the art style was the style of Transformers, which is cool, but it doesn't look like a Magic card. It looks like a
movie
bootleg.
Transformers, or like the original, just like
like 80s Transformers.
oh,
like,
okay, just the cartoon.
Yeah, like the cartoon. Like the artwork is like I don't know if it's lifted directly from the cartoon, but it looks like the
It
cartoon.
just looks like it.
Yeah, which is not
lazy.
Which is and like whatever it is, it's like it's cool if you're a Transformers fan, but like,
how does that excite you?
how does that excite you? Like, you can like, it reminds me of when I was in middle school and I would make Magic cards and you would like drag an image into the little thing and it would like do it. It feels like that. It doesn't feel like a real card, and it's the same for all this other stuff.
Are those legal in tournaments? Can you play those in standard and stuff?
So maybe not standard, but in other formats.
I sounded like I know what I'm talking about for a split second there. I assure you I don't. Magic is just too big brain for me.
And so it's like that. It's like the trailers with the slowed down versions of like Smashing Pumpkins and other versions of songs, like, despite all my rage. It's just like, that sucks.
Oh man.
But they've been doing it. Like, it must appeal to somebody.
It was Linkin Park, the one that I saw.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was it In the End?
Oh yeah. In the end.
Yeah. The chopped and screwed In the End.
Yeah, there's that, and there's the one, and this is a little bit older, but the one that always sticks out to me is the Ramones song "I Want to Be Sedated."
Oh yeah.
Was in a trailer for a movie called like "The Cure for Wellness" or something. That song
familiar.
is so exciting and like fun, and like 2020 like, you pick the song because it's called "I Want to Be Sedated."
I wanna be sedated.
It's like so on the nose.
That's terrible.
But like, I've just met a few nerds at like conventions and stuff who get so hype about like, dude, are you ready for this more corporate slop? But now it's combined with the other corporate slop.
No, people just like cross. I mean, that's the whole reason Ready Player One was allowed to exist.
God.
Like, on some level, we've all been guilty of it, right? Like, Smash Bros is cool. There, I said it.
Yeah.
I think Smash Bros is pretty neat. And I mean, all Ultimate was just like everybody going like, Crash Bandicoot needs Banjo because we had fucking Master Chief and got him. I need him fucking like just going red in the face, fucking veins popping out, just trying to get their favorite fucking stupid ass character into the game.
Okay, but Master Chief win. Also, like I'm fine with like a one-off.
Smash Bros is dead. I hope they never
Right?
make a Smash 6.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess that's the other thing. I'm not like craving for more Smash Brothers. I didn't even buy any of the DLC for the current.
We never surpassed Melee, like on some level. You know what I mean? The game was over before it ever began.
Yeah, but I don't know. All I'm trying to get at is like one-off, cool, but like they just announced like 3 years of like crossovers and like jokey shit, and I'm like, who is this for? Like, I don't understand.
You're not immune to propaganda and you're not immune to crossovers. Like Mortal
so.
Kombat
I
1,
guess so.
which is the sequel to Mortal Kombat 11 for some reason. Homelander, Omni-Man, a couple other, the guy from the Suicide Squad, John Cena, whatever, and somebody else. Like, and I saw those, I was like, oh, cool. All right. Yeah. It's Homelander versus Omni-Man. That's neat. You know?
Yeah, maybe I'm not as cool as I think I am.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe I do. Maybe I,
It'll get you too.
I see Peacemaker in there, and I'm like, that was a good show. I liked that show.
That was the Suicide Squad guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
John Cena. Yeah. Great show. Go watch that show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like post Marvel Endgame, it's like we're done. Stop.
I think just on some like lizard brain primordial level, we enjoy it when a corporation goes like points at something and goes like, "Remember this?" And we go like, "I do remember that."
Remember that.
Wow.
It always takes me back to like 90s kids remember, and that feels so old now. And yet it's
that
still
shit
here.
was rancid on arrival, man.
Yeah.
That was so terrible.
And it's never left. it is a cancer that has stayed with us.
The one good implementation I've ever seen of that is if you can name the 3 Animaniacs, you need to start doing regular stretches.
Yeah, I can name them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yakko, Wacko, and Dot.
Yakko, Wacko, and Dot.
Call me Dottie and Die.
Yeah, all right, I'll get in shape.
That's
Fine.
right. You got to start stretching, you know. Those joints ain't going to stick, stay healthy forever. But yeah, I think that shit like super sucks and it's like really annoying to see. But like on some level, I have to admit that evil is inside me. On some,
Yeah, I'm not as cool as I think I am. I do when it's a thing I like. I guess it's different.
But it's so easy to react with contempt when other people are doing it, and you don't like. Like I went and saw Ready Player One, and there was this guy smack dab middle of the theater who like every time he saw a character he recognized, he went whoa! He was so excited. Batman, Raphael, the fucking mushroom thing from Battleborn. Every single time. He was so excited.
Okay,
that guy's happier than I'll ever be.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I'm just we're jealous, if anything.
Yeah.
Haters are all jealous.
That's right.
I do have to say, like a fun game, if you ever want to torture yourself, is to watch.
Do I ever?
Ready Player One, and every time a recognizable property pops up, point at the screen and say to the person next to you, "That's Iron Man. He's from the movie Iron Man." That's Alien. He's from the movie Alien.
That is a pretty fun game.
Yeah,
I think that's more about torturing the person you're with.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Bernadette and I were kind of doing it like back and forth a little bit, but it was like nonstop. But it was the only thing that made that movie tolerable. Was just like because there's no deep cuts in Ready Player One.
I think that Mushroom Ninja is probably the deepest cut.
Yeah, only
Which
by
they
virtue
weren't
of
expecting that. It's just Battleborn fucking died on arrival, essentially.
It was not a deep cut at the time necessarily.
They thought it was gonna pop off, but
yeah.
Next closest, Goro from Mortal Kombat. He hasn't been around for a minute.
Yeah. I don't know. My Ready Player One knowledge isn't quite there, but I guess the deepest cut is the metaverse. Remember that dumb shit?
I love the metaverse, dude.
Oh man, what a time to be alive. Well, now that we got all of our cynical stuff out of us, do you want to talk about this anime, or is there anything else you want to bring up?
I want to talk about first. We watched a very different anime, both of us. We finished it. It's called The Bear on Hulu.
The Bear.
Yeah. It's a little bit like Shokugeki no Soma, but with slightly less nudity.
Slightly.
Yeah.
No, The Bear rules. I finished Hell's Paradise.
Yeah.
And like I'm all done with season 1, and I was like, that was a good show. All right. And then we finished. The second we finished season 2 of The Bear, Bernadette and I was like, where is season 3?
Yeah, no, definitely.
I want more immediately.
Yeah, I like that. I'm sure it's going to continue. It makes every gesture as though it's going to continue, and people have been raving about it. So I imagine it's got the support.
We looked it up. Yes, it will return for season 3.
Perfect.
So.
Yeah. What a fucking. It's so good at like. There's some really, especially in season 2, there were some really like, and I won't spoil anything, but like some really like heartwarming moments. Yeah, like people just kind of growing and learning to communicate more effectively and like take pride in what they do. It was all super neat. And then, man, that show knows how to stress you the fuck out.
Oh my god, dude! I mean, season 1 too. It is so.
Oh yeah.
Like I think we were like. It was late and we had finished a couple episodes. Like, do we want to watch more or do we want to like go to bed comfortably? But I think the thing that really blew my mind was like how well shot it is.
Yeah.
You know, like it's a really good looking show. Episode 3 opens on like the titular bear on like the beach and you don't know why he's there. But it's really like kind of like it's a really nice shot, and then it sets up the rest of the episode, and then by the end of it, you see it again, and the context is different. Yeah. And you're like, oh yeah, and I don't know, and like every like intro is like super well shot.
Yeah,
too, like showing the city and all that.
Yeah, totally. I love a lot of the like artsy stuff that it goes for sure.
Yeah.
I've never been to Chicago, but it makes me want to go to Chicago.
Yeah. I mean, I want to go to Chicago. I want to see that bean.
That's true. Because it's a big old bean. You take a picture.
Show me the bean.
Take a little bean selfie, little beanie.
Yeah, a little beanie.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Chicago's up there for me.
Yeah. I've tried New York pizza. Thought it was pretty cool. Got to try Chicago pizza next.
Yeah, I got to try Chicago pizza. I don't like Chicago style pizza.
You don't like deep dish?
I'm not a deep dish guy.
I like deep dish a lot.
I haven't had deep dish in like 10 years.
Oh, okay.
So maybe my palate's evolved.
Maybe. But I think it's very nice texturally, and it's a dangerous amount of cheese for sure. But
speaking my language, maybe I'll like it this time around.
Nobody lives forever, right?
My beef is I'm not a big red sauce guy.
Oh, really?
There's a lot of red sauce in deep dish.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true. A lot of people get upset because they don't see the cheese because the sauce is on top of the cheese.
Oh,
yeah. Thin layer of sauce and then cheese under it, and a lot of cheese.
Well, I love the bear. I'm ready to go to Chicago. Hey, Chicago anime convention. You want to invite these guys? We'll probably get like 30 views.
Is it like a Mag Fest?
Magfest? Is that Chicago?
Is it?
I thought that was
West
East Coast.
Is in Seattle, I think, but Magfest might be Chicago.
I thought it was East Coast. I don't know.
I don't remember. Maybe it is.
I don't know.
There's a Chicago anime convention. Is Otakon? Garugamesh? Is that?
Oh no, that's that Garugamesh is from Sakura-con.
Oh, that's from Sakura-con?
I'm almost positive.
Son of a bitch. Which one's?
And that's up in Seattle.
That's in Seattle?
Yeah.
Damn.
I'm like,
I got my
hopefully I'm not wrong.
All fucked up. No, I'll believe you on that.
Yeah. And you know what? If I am wrong, the 14th Zodiac sign is Garugamesh.
The most elusive sign.
Yeah.
Better than alpha male? Very few men are Garugamesh. New type of male.
Oh shit. Yeah, dude, let's like a lot of people say like, the different like Sigma, Alpha, all that stuff is just horoscopes for men.
Yeah.
Let's just get men back into horoscopes with our horoscope.
There you go.
The Battle School Dropouts brand horoscopes.
Click the link to sign up. Don't know which link it is. Figure it out.
Listen, it'll only be $6,000 to change your life forever. If you can't afford it, you should rethink your life. Get a credit card. Get the course. We're going to give you big facts like, ever thought about stuff before?
If you don't, well, that's a real sideways scorpion move. Just saying. Do you want to be a sideways scorpion?
Yeah, dude. The sideways scorpion is the bottom of the Zodiac tier. It's important to remember there's a tier list.
Yeah. Yeah. It's good. It's good. I like where we're headed with this.
It's good.
I could go for a drink.
Oh. If only there was some kind of convenient place that you could go and put 1 silver coin and get either a cold or hot beverage.
Well, while no such thing exists in this world, I can think of something we can watch to get a little bit of that experience, and it's Reborn as a vending machine. Now I wander the dungeons.
Reborn as a vending machine. Now I wander the dungeon.
Indeed. What'd you think about it?
I thought it sucked. I thought it really sucked.
I was kind of surprised about like how negative you ended up on that.
You told me that the first episode was kind of funny, but our guess was that it won't last for 6 episodes.
Yeah.
I did not enjoy episode 1.
Yeah, that's very true.
Well, okay, I got my whole fucking spiel on that I'm going to inevitably get into. What did you think of it?
I definitely don't feel as like offended by it as you did, I think. I think ultimately it's just kind of a show that exists. Like it's kind of just some more dumb isekai trash, and like if you like dumb isekai trash, and nothing wrong with that, you know. I love me some dumb trash in my own way. But yeah, if you like that, here's more of it, and if you don't like it, keep it moving. Like there's nothing here for you.
Yeah, I think you're not wrong. I think it's just kind of more and I think that's kind of the thing that blows my mind is that this feels like a parody of isekai, right? Like this should be
Well, there's so many of those already.
Right, but this should be like a proper parody, right? Like everybody should be like a twist on the type of character that they're representing. And instead everything is played 100% straight. It is not a parody. The character just happens to be a vending machine.
Sure
that is silly, but it is taken just as seriously as any other isekai that has ever existed. This show is not a parody. Anyone who says that it is lying.
I think there's something to admire about something that takes a stupid premise and then like plays it straight. I think if anything, this could be played a little bit straighter and it would be a lot more interesting to me.
It needs something. The problem is this show is deep in mediocre valley. It has taken the premise of like I'm reborn as a vending machine, something incredibly silly, and just made it as boring as possible.
I think that's a pretty good appraisal. It's a light novel, right? It's not a manga. It's like a novel with words.
It has been adapted into a manga, I believe, because I know. Excuse me. I had an itch. There is a manga out there apparently.
Yeah.
It's currently running. It's got like 2 volumes or whatever. But I believe it was a light novel first.
Yeah. So I feel like this kind of thing could work a lot better as like a book, like where you can, I don't know, you have a whole lot more just room to express like what the characters are thinking and feeling and stuff like that, and like a bit more minutia, and also leave a lot of some of the details like to the reader's imagination, because there's like, you know, there's still pictures between chapters and stuff, I'm sure, but like other than that, not a whole lot.
Yeah. I just feel like the second you draw this out and how seriously that they kind of take it to an, not that it's a serious show, but that it's just kind of played normal. What are we doing? This is like one of the most like visually dull shows I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah.
And it's so it could be sillier. It could be fun. This could be an easy like just good time 7 out of 10. And instead I'm just sitting here. I'm so fucking mad at this vending machine with his cute little eyeballs.
It's a surprise too. Like the OP, I think, kind of gives you like a lot of information, because like, so the song is by Bradio, who the only other, I hope it's I imagine it's pronounced Bradio, maybe it's Bradio, I don't know, but they're the band that did the excellent Death Parade opening, so like kind of starting out, it's like, okay, like I can, you know, this sounds like it'll be neat. And then partway through there's this sequence of, what's her name?
Luminous. Linguini?
Yeah, there's a shot of Linguini doing some like Baji Chuan like kung fu type stuff in the woods or whatever.
Yeah.
And it is the most just like uninteresting animation sequence that goes on way too long. And that's just kind of a microcosm of like the whole experience watching the show.
I know, and all the other shots that are in there are like that's where like the budget went, because everything else is just stills of all the characters kind of photoshopped next to each other, going in and out of opacity.
Yeah.
It's such a shame, because like audio wise, that theme song is a banger. Like
It's
if
great.
you listen to it, you're like, oh, this theme song must be really like, kinetic and fun and all this jazz. And it's essentially just still images. It's a slideshow.
They like subverting your expectations with radio.
know.
So Brady, Flyers, the Death Parade song, like it happens and you're like, wow, this is going to be a really fun time. And then it's like so depressing.
And that's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, this is like, wow, this is going to be a really fun time. And it's like, there's not much going on.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
So I guess we should let the listener know what this show is about. You want to give the synopsis or shall I?
This show does have one of the best openings sequences I've ever seen.
Very true.
We had to watch it twice just to make sure we understood what just happened.
And then twice again in the dub.
Yeah, we also watched the dub of the beginning of the show just to be like, I have to hear a person say this in English. There is a part, so the character, all takes place over 15 seconds, tops.
Yeah, something like it.
The character is going up a hill on his Vespa, and a truck is in front of him, and the truck has a vending machine in the back of it, and the buckles that are holding it down snap. And he's like, oh no, the vending machine's gonna be in trouble. And he tries to save it, and he ends up driving off the cliff with it.
Somehow the vending machine goes off the cliff as well.
Yeah, as with him. And now he's been reborn in a magical world as a vending machine.
He just as easily could have been reborn as the Vespa now that I think about it.
Yeah, really. Yeah. Which there's just you couldn't have put him on a motorcycle. The Vespa sets up his character very well. This is not an exciting man.
Yeah.
This is a man who loves vending machines. And that's his whole
his passion. Everybody knows that about him. He says that everyone knows that about him.
Everybody knows that. Because it takes that proper kind of shonen bit where it's like, whatever that character is into is the most important thing in the world, right? If you like dancing, good thing you live in Tribe Cool Crew, because dancing's the most important thing in the world.
Nice. Any episode we get a Tribe Cool Crew reference in, that's a good one.
That anime that we all know. I could have said Yu-Gi-Oh, but instead I'm going to reference Tribe Cool Crew.
Every time I talk about that show, I need to talk about the part where they learn tutting. You know what tutting is?
No.
It's dancing with your hands, essentially. It's like they do a lot of, I can't do it, but they do a lot of weird shit with their fingers. Kind of optical illusion type, the finger's not on the hand anymore type thing, but far more advanced and far more interesting than I'm making it sound. The thing about Tribe Cool Crew is that all the dance sequences are done in a very, very budget friendly CG.
Yes.
And their fingers, I think, do not have that much in the way of articulation, so they kind of just do this. Mash their little block hands together.
Oh, I know.
For 16 bars.
I know exactly what I am watching after this episode.
It's so
my god, that's so good.
Tribe Cool Crew is a fun idea, but that's a bit of a mess.
I mean, I don't know. I'll give some forgiveness sometimes. It's like with Super Yo-Yo, right? I did not like Super Yo-Yo, but Super Yo-Yo is a show made for children. Vending Machine Boy is not made for kids.
Tribe Cool Crew's got a little bit of soul to it too. You know what I mean? I don't think it's very well executed, but there was a vision there. There's people who wanted to make. I don't know if anybody involved really cares about this vending machine show.
No, I don't think so. This show.
It's also just sorry to cut you off. It's it's so deep into a trend of tongue-in-cheek, not serious isekai anime.
Yes.
We had the don't you Okasan online, and we had the Reborn as reincarnated as a slime, and then more recently there's been oops, I've been reincarnated as a very inconvenient thing. There's a guy who comes back reincarnated as a sword, reincarnated as a spider, reincarnated as a blah blah blah. So this is just the next in that, and it's how do we get more ridiculous?
It's almost not a parody, really.
Kind of, no, it's just playing with the trend.
Yeah, the trend is come back as something kind of weird.
Yeah, and the audience goes how are they going to make a show about this? And then they do.
Yeah, and I've heard the spider one is kind of good.
As have I. And I've heard I watched an episode or two of the sword one. That one's fine.
Yeah, and the thing is there's this trend of I've come back as this pathetic, just piece of shit, garbage thing, and then within an episode, I have discovered nuclear fusion and I will become death.
Well, it kind of takes all the wind out of the sails when there's like immediately upon arrival, there's a computer voice that goes like,
yes,
you have the ability to ascend to godhood if you unlock this many points. And it's like, well, okay, I guess I'll just learn to teleport first. And it's like, teleportation unlocked.
Yeah,
like,
you just get it.
I'm a silly little frog, but also I can teleport and I have the voice of God. So let's see what I can do.
Yeah, and I get that that's part of the fantasy, right? That idea
that's
that
not a part of my fantasy. I don't know.
I love struggling. No,
I will live 1,000 Sword Art Onlines before I ever live this one.
Yeah, right. I forgot we're a pro Sword Art Online podcast.
I am a pro Sword Art Online podcaster. You don't have to get on that train with me, but
no, I'll jump on it.
I'm taking that baby to the last stop.
If you make me choose between that and fucking the Vending Machine show, you know which camp I'm falling in.
That's right.
This show sucks. It is so frustrating. Yeah, it's so, like, I get that that's part of the fantasy, right? Like, you instantly gain some kind of skill or ability, and that's fun. That's kind of a cool idea, but, like, that's not interesting, right? Like, and like, the abilities are very, like, Vending Machine Boy.
Yep.
Episode 1 is, like, he's going around, he's like, oh man, I can replace my water with fucking milk or whatever, and he can just switch around his ingredients on the inside.
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool.
He's got what was it? Was it tea and it was bottled water and corn soup?
Yeah, he's like, I can have corn soup for sale. Cool.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, that's a vending machine thing, and that's nice. And then immediately is like, if I get damaged, I can spend points to recover my damage, and then I can also summon a magical barrier, like vending machines,
regular vending machine things.
Like, I'm not even necessarily upset about the fact that he can transform into other vending machines. That's fun, but the magic barrier is such a fucking cop-out. Like, like, he can heal himself. Why does he need this magic barrier?
Well, like, to prevent the damage in the first place.
But, like, I don't know.
Would you rather have the ability to not get shot or the ability to heal your bullet wounds after you've received them?
Well, it's not like it hurts him. He's getting, like, beat to shit, and he's just like, oh no, I sure do hate having this axe thrown against my body.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the magic barrier is just a cop out. And every time he uses it, it's like, I don't know if I have enough points. How many points do I have?
There was one point where he talks about that, and he's don't high 5 digits points, like in the tens of thousands, and it's like, all right, man,
don't act like there's stakes when there are none. Don't shut the fuck up, vending machine show.
I like some of the character designs. I'm like fuming over here. I'm like sweating, not just from the heat in this apartment. I'm sweating from like rage at this goddamn vending machine. We haven't been whinging about it like the last episode, because last time it was like 105 or something like that, and today it was like
90.
It's like 90. Yeah. So it is still pretty hot in here, but like, manageable. So if we look gross, that's why.
Yeah, I feel just as sweaty, but I blame the vending machine.
Yeah. It's got you heated.
Yeah, exactly. The other characters, yeah.
Yeah, I like some of the main girl, Luminous or whatever. It's fine. I kind of like, you showed me her from the cover of the light novel, and she was dressed a lot more skimpy, but I also thought like just her character design was a lot more interesting.
Yeah, I mean,
the engineer lady, she's cool.
Yeah, I think the show has like good, if not very expected character design. I was kind of surprised at how much detail was on some of the characters, and I feel like that might be part of the reason why this show feels very low budget to me.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm not opposed to a show being low budget or whatever. This show just it looks like they're like lots of scenes where they're like reusing shots, or like it's framed really poorly, or the animation just isn't very fluid, and like it just feels, and they're not like doing anything to mask it. It just feels really low budget.
It's weird how like there's, and maybe it was just some CG because it's like very quick, but like there was in episode 5, I think it is 4, whichever one they go to the the Merchant Science Fair or whatever, and there's like the android.
That goes ballistic.
Yeah, there's like when it goes berserk, like at the very beginning, it like goes from like standing very rigid and robotic to like all of a sudden it becomes this like freaky like Evangelion fucking angel thing for a second.
Goes berserk.
Yeah, and like that was like super fluid and super like kind of interesting, and like it cuts away after like a split second, but like for a very very brief second I was like, oh, something looked neat on the screen there for a second, you know? Which is like almost more insulting because like you do have the capability of doing that.
Yeah,
it's just it wasn't in the cards, I guess. Maybe they got a guest animator for that episode, I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna say before I lost my train of thought in Rage, I think part of the reason it feels low budget is it might not necessarily be like the studio hasn't done a bunch. They've done a lot of things. Nothing that really caught my eye. I didn't commit it to memory. I only remembered that there's two studios and they both worked on a show called World's End Harem or something like that, which was like one of those like not hentais, I believe. I never really watched it.
Oh yeah, that's on Crunchyroll.
Yes.
It's got like a group of ladies on. Of course, it
yeah.
fucking does.
Well, the harem anime's got ladies.
How stupid that was as soon as I said it out loud.
But I was gonna say, like, I think they've done some like decent. I shouldn't say decent, but like I don't know anything about their past. They've just done a lot. I just feel like the characters and their complicated designs probably made it more difficult to animate.
Studio.
Oh my god, I got my words out.
Studio Gokumi and Axis.
Yes. Yeah, nothing jumped out at me.
Oh, they did the Atelier Eska and Logi anime. I thought that was kind of bad. Oh, Yuki Yuna as a hero. That was pretty good. Yeah, there's some other stuff here.
Yeah.
Not all kind of a surprising amount of stuff actually, but yeah.
Both studios, they seem to have worked on similar projects, the two studios.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I didn't recognize anything from them. But I don't know. The show also like has no style. Like this is just anime. The anime
has no style, has no grace.
Yeah,
this show has a funny face.
Exactly. I think it's like we watched like some videos while we were setting everything up that talked about. There were a few people who liked this show and they talked about why. And one of the reasons that they said is that it's cute. And while I can't disagree, I also like, yeah, I guess, but there's so much cute anime out there.
Yeah.
Like, what makes this one special? And the vending machine's not it.
I think, I often think about one of my best friends is I was talking to his brother about some shovelware anime from like 2012 or something like that, because it was that year around the time. And he mentioned he was watching it, and I was like, oh, that's kind of a surprise. You're not watching this, not watching this. And he was like, well, I mean, yeah, but like, I don't know. Like he basically, the thesis of what he said was like, I like this particular type of thing, like, and it's not all that interesting, but like it's familiar, it's comfortable, and I know, that there's not going to be a whole lot of surprises. And yeah, that doesn't make for the most interesting watch, but like, I know exactly what I'm getting out of it, and it's very rare I'm going to be disappointed with that.
Yeah.
So like, I could totally see. We were watching a YouTube video of a guy like talking about episode 7, and like, that kind of it seemed like he was kind of from a familiar place, like,
yeah,
just this is what the show is going, and that's what I want from it, and that's fine. And I'm like, I can respect that.
Yes,
but that ain't me.
Yeah, that's I think the whole thing. We're full circle now. We're talking about comfort TV shows, comfort video games.
This is a foreshadowing here.
This is a very comfortable anime.
Yeah,
but because it's not my comfort, did I not have fun?
Yeah.
My only joy is in my rage now.
You know what? I think it's far from the worst thing we've watched for this show. And I'll do you one better. It's far from the least fun I've had watching something for this podcast. Like I would watch this again before I watched more Super Yo-Yo. I'd watch this again before I watched more Eat Man.
Yeah. I
would watch more Space Brothers before I watch this though. More of this. Yeah,
easy. I'm trying to think of other shows. And I hate to say it, I might even be more willing to watch because we did not review Sunny Boy particularly favorably. and I might be more willing to watch a vending machine show just because I know what's going on in the vending machine show.
That's tough because Sonny Boy pissed me off in a very particular way, because Sonny Boy was by all rights supposed to be my shit.
Yeah.
And then it really wasn't. Like, that was supposed to be the anime for me, and it left me so cold. So I was like, that pissed me off a lot. Vending Machine didn't really make me feel much of anything. I was just like, yeah, this is fun. Yeah. There's colors happening on the screen.
There's colors, yeah.
It's about as stimulating to me as like jingling keys in front of my face, but like that's fine.
Yeah, because that really is like
Cocoa Melon for weebs.
Yeah, no, that really. I mean, I think that's a good way of putting it. All the little plots and things that happen are so just kind of standard, and they resolve them without really any like. There's a couple like, to the show's credit, he does resolve some issues using his vending machine powers. Yeah. Like when in the 6th episode, he is eaten by a giant crocodile fiend.
That was kind of cool.
That was actually, I gotta give him credit.
Yeah.
Apparently all of these weird vending machines that he's turned into actually exist. And so he, like, to get out, he turns into it's like a gas vending machine.
Yeah, and he has to very briefly explain, like, these vending machines were available in college student dorms and other places in the mid-90s or something. Like, it's something so fringe that it's like nobody nowadays would probably recognize where that came from.
And it's like, okay, I don't think that's particularly interesting, but well done. You figured out a way to build an explosion that will detonate this monster from the inside.
Yeah, because he like fills the place with gas and then switches to a vending machine that's got a microwave in it, and then puts a can of soup in that, and that's bad because it's like it causes
metallic
sparks, but that works in his favor because then the sparks ignite and blah blah blah. Like, that was pretty cool. And like I think that it's because I think one of the very first things I learned about like Japan just as like a modern country was that there were vending machines everywhere. Like, I have very, very, very young memories of people talking about, like, you got vending. You can buy anything in a vending machine in Japan. You can buy clothes. You can buy food. You can buy girls' panties. Whoa, they're crazy. I don't know. I haven't heard about that in a long time. I'm pretty sure that was just people making a weird generalization. But like vending machines have been a lot more successful in Japan than they have been here historically. I think so. Like, on that level, I think it's a very interesting premise, like having that as your power, I think that was a good instance of them using that to its full extent. I hope that the future of, because as of recording right now, episode 7 is out. We watched the first 6 episodes. But it's still airing week to week. So like, I think if the show continued to build on that, I think there could be some more fun moments.
Yeah, and it's good that it happened in the 6th episode, because that gives me a bit of hope if I was somehow forced to watch this show more. But to contrast to that really good use, quite possibly the dumbest fucking use happens in the 2nd episode when they have to combine Coke and Mentos to fight the giant frog fiend. I think the Coke and Mentos thing is funny and a good idea. Yeah. My beef with it is they develop these like spraying water cannons, essentially, right? You put the Mentos in the Diet Coke, it sprays out, right? Yeah. You're fighting this frog that's like got fire all over its back. And so your brain goes, oh, obviously they're going to spray it on the fire and that'll help weaken the beast or something. And they go, hit him in the eyes. And then they spray Coke in his eyes. And that slows down the beast so that he can be anticlimactically killed by the heroes who were apparently just off screen.
They were just, 10 seconds away anyway.
Like, I get that they were supposed to be missing, but they appear so quickly after that. And it's like, why? Like, I get that spraying a creature in the eye with soda would not harm it, but you can put anything in its eye and it would like harm it. Like, why did we go through all this soda shit with a fire monster to only deal with it in the most like normal whatever mode? That's so lame.
Them shooting it in the eyes with the Coke Zero did actually seem to extinguish all of its flames. Because it wasn't on fire when the other guys showed up. So like, and typically, like,
I don't think that happened. I think it put out the fire after it died. I'm gonna.
No. There was a moment before whoever showed up to kill it. I can't remember who did the final blow, but like before that happened, the monster's like reeling back because they've shot fucking Coke Zero into its eyes. Its eyes are all sticky. Its eyelids are having a hard time opening or whatever. Frogs have eyelids. Doesn't matter. If the fire goes out. Like before it gets killed physically. So like here's the best, most charitable assumption I can make about that moment. And like, plot holes, whatever. But like one of them knew, Lemmings or whoever it was. I remember it starts with an L and ends with an S. Can't remember that.
Linguinis.
Yeah, Linguinis.
I'm sticking with that name.
Yeah, Longanisa knew that if if you like, maybe she just knows about the anatomy of these frog fiends, because she is a hunter. That's her job, to kill those guys. Maybe she just knew that blinding it incapacitates it otherwise. That's the best I got.
Nah, I'm not having it.
I feel like I can be charitable towards it in that moment.
I will not be charitable to that. That is set up for a joke and then delivering a different punchline. That is such a heinous mistake. It is getting all the way. You're about to score the goal and then you trip. You just fall hard. This is any sport. You're about to do the good thing and then you biff it. You step on your shoelace and you fall face first and you break your nose. And the other team scores and you lose. That is that moment in anime incarnate.
Damn.
I hated that so much. Like, you're so close. So close.
Yeah. Yeah, that definitely wasn't a great moment.
And that's my beef with this show is like it's got ideas and things. It just biffs the execution.
I'm inclined to agree. I think a lot of the because like we were talking about, this is hardly like a new concept. Like, oh, you got isekai'd, but you're not a person, you're not the hero, you're like a random object or something. And like a lot of the time they kind of follow the same path of like, I have the ability to, like, if I play my cards right, I can get really powerful or whatever. I think this is like one of the more underwhelming iterations of that.
Yeah.
Aside from that part where you get swallowed by the big alligator or whatever, like there's not a whole lot of like interesting use of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's got a romantic interest in the form of I can't remember her name.
Linguinisa.
Yeah. Linguica.
Yeah, they kind of almost make it like she seems very interested in him, and maybe it's friendly, but like also like it's friendly in that way of anime where it's like but it is gonna turn into more.
It definitely
it's framed
seems
exactly that same way.
Exactly. The way that they're like framing it visually certainly makes me think so. Especially in the opening and ending. And yeah, like he kind of seems towards her is like for the most part, it's just like, this is, like without her, I probably would have died out there where I spawned, like she's a very good friend. I'm going to protect her, blah, blah, blah. And like, she is like very, very, very attached at this point.
Yeah.
To the point where it almost kind of sounds like she has developed some sort of feelings for this vending machine.
Yeah. I'm concerned where it is headed.
Yeah. Ooh, there's a part where bandits, where the vending machine has been kidnapped by bandits, and they've locked him in a room with someone who turns out to be a magical engineer, and the bandits come back, and it seems as though they have some nefarious intentions with the engineer lady, and then the vending machine turns into a vending machine that sells porno mags, and then the guys all get one, and they all make a mistake, and then we run off to make an excuse, and they run off to whack it.
Yeah, that's such a weird.
That was such a strange
scene. Like, let's attack her in her sleep. Oh, but now we have porn, so we're fine.
It was just such a like random fucking thing, because like they kidnapped her in the first place. They make it sound like, ooh, we got the jump on her now, we're gonna get her, but it's like, you kidnapped her already.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah, you already got her. That okay. This show is weirdly horny.
a little bit.
Like in that anime kind of way, right? Where like you don't have like upskirts necessarily, but like there's just a weird level of horniness. Like this is not a show you could watch with your mom, you know?
That's true. Yeah.
I said at the beginning when we sat down and we were watching the first episode, this feels like someone is like you're reading about a fetish that you don't understand, right? Like dragons fucking cars. Like that's a weird I hate to kink shame, but that's a weird fetish. And like reading about it, you're going into this like mindset where you're like, I don't understand how somebody's into this, right? And the vending machine, I said, this feels like somebody is like explaining their fetish, or I'm reading about their fetish, but it's not sexual. And by the end of these 6 episodes, I'm like, I am not entirely convinced it is not sexual.
There's a particular type of fetishist that like a part of the appeal is the subtlety, you know? Like they're really into feet, but it's not just like, oh, you got a sexy naked lady who's waving her dogs in your face or whatever. It's like I don't know, you go to work and your coworker you have a crush on has like open-toed shoes on or something, and she doesn't pay much attention to you, but just I don't know, she's sitting like this and kind of kicking her toe absentmindedly to the music she's listening to, and this dude's just rock hard over it. You know what I mean? Like that like nothing sexual is even happening, but you're just like everything's just fit perfectly into your weird little sex dream world, you know? This kind of feels like that for the guy, like, because you know his whole thing is like, I've been reborn as a vending machine, my favorite thing in the world, and now I got this lady around who I may or may not want to have vending machine sex with, and people are buying corn soup and milk tea from me and all this and condoms and porn mags and gas and stuff.
Well, and like it's also like there's such an interesting dynamic because the vending machine guy in horny situations will repeatedly say, it's a good thing I'm not organic. And
I say that quite a few times.
Yeah, and it's like you are to an extent, right? Like if you took
got big anime eyes in his screen.
Yeah, exactly. Like I get that like physically nothing is, but like all of your previous memories, the reason you know how to do anything, the reason you know anything about vending machines is because you were organic, right? Like if you took my memories and put me into a robot, it would be weird if I said like I'm not organic, right? Because like I know enough, or like I relate enough to organic things, you know? And it's so you have that like I'm not organic, right? But then you have this woman who like loves you and worships you to a certain extent, and she's really with you, but like you can't, there's like this weird relationship that you have, and it just reeks of like this is somebody's like kink, like 100%, and it's being packaged in this boring anime I have to watch, right?
Like I think there is some level of like, I don't know if it's the authors, I don't know if it's but there's some sort of kink involved here on some level.
Yes. Yeah, it
very
is
strange.
Perpetually this writer's fetish barely contained or whatever.
Also super weird how the lady shows up in that one episode. She's like, hey, some people in the village are they're getting diseases. There's some diseases traveling around. And then the vending machine guy's like, I got you, no worries. Turns into a condom dispenser. And she goes like, what's this do? Oh, perfect. And then just takes a bunch and fucks off. It's like, she was being too subtle for me to grasp, I guess. I didn't realize she meant STDs. Yeah. Boxo evidently did. His name's they call him Boxo in the world. Yeah. Also, we never mentioned this all takes place inside a dungeon. It's not. There's a sky, and there's outside, and there's trees, and there's rivers, and there's lakes, and there's animals, and there's a village, and people live there, and it's all super happy. And if they didn't say the word stratum and dungeon every episode, you would have no idea they were in one. But it is important that you know they are, in fact, in a dungeon for the entirety of the show.
I want you at home right now, you motherfucker who has made it this far, who loves the vending machine, and you're just hate watching this. This show does not take place in a fucking dungeon. Like
they say
this show is a lie.
Every episode.
Like them saying this takes place in a dungeon is such horseshit.
Even the title says it. He wanders around
a dungeon. That is the least committal to an idea I have ever seen. Right? It might as well say like this show takes place on the sun, but it takes place on the part of the sun that's not 10 trillion degrees, and there's a forest, and we can have all of our normal stuff. But it does take place on the sun. We'll never show you any of the sun. We'll never show you anything resembling the sun.
They do mention the surface offhand once. They do a similar thing, as I recall. They do a similar thing in Tower of God. I'd probably watch more of this before I watched more Tower of God, actually.
Tower of God got real bad. But I did watch more Tower of God.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I said keep watching it. I watched the whole first season.
You did. Yeah, you tried to shoot it down during the ranking episode as penance for your crimes.
Yeah, well, it's not good.
They do a very similar thing in Tower of God, but like Tower of God is supposed to have this sort of like it's not supposed to make sense that those things are in a tower of God. This he really just mentions it offhand. Oh yeah, there's a sky and stuff, but we're in a dungeon right now. Anyway, so I just figured out I can make cup noodles. And we just keep going.
Yeah, and it's like the show, I get that it has fantastical characters, but it's too grounded in terms of like everybody else's normal life, right? Like everybody who lives in this town isn't like some magic wizard or whatever, right? Most of them are just regular dudes.
Yeah.
You know? So to then be like, oh, but we are in a dungeon and all that stuff, it's like, shut the fuck up. Like, what does it serve them being in a dungeon other than like just to be like bullshit isekai stuff, right? Like there's nothing about this that feels like a dungeon. If he had to go into a dungeon to actually do dungeon shit and like explore with adventurers and do like fun RPG or D&D stuff, maybe we're onto something, right? I thought this show was going to be about like a fucking vending machine and he's going to sell like, I can sell like potions or I can boost my friend's abilities or something like that and do like vending machine shit in a dungeon. And he does borderline vending machine shit not in a dungeon.
I kind of figured he'd have he'd be posted up around the dungeon and be able to move from point to point somehow and like end up encountering a bunch of different adventures.
Yeah.
As it happens, like everybody's in one big group. And we have not set foot in anything resembling like what you would expect when you hear the word dungeon. There's no dark, shadowy hallways with torch sconces every 8 feet or whatever, and there's like a goblin room and treasure chests and things. None of that. That never appears.
This show takes a not very creative idea and does even less than I imagined possible with it. The show refuses to even get off the couch. It is just pathetic in so many ways. It doesn't even want to try. And if anybody says the next episode takes place in a dungeon, because I saw there's a labyrinth, I saw sky above it, so fuck off, that's not a dungeon. And then B, you can't put the word "now I wander a dungeon" in your show title and then not go to a dungeon for 6 episodes.
Ooh, actually, you used the word labyrinth, and that made me. I'm on the Wikipedia page right now, and actually, I think let's see. Yeah, the original translation actually says, "I wander through the labyrinth," which does make a bit of difference. A labyrinth doesn't have to have a ceiling.
Okay, I guess a labyrinth doesn't have to have a ceiling, and that's different than a dungeon.
True.
Also, he doesn't.
That is
in the
true.
First
There's
6
nothing
episodes.
resembling a labyrinth either.
There apparently is in the 7th episode, but I can't imagine he's going to stay in there very long.
Maybe he does. I mean, it's in the title.
Maybe he does. I don't know. Yeah, maybe everybody's screaming at their screen. No, guys, episode 7 where it reaches its true potential. It's not how the show works.
6 episodes.
We watched
unless
6
you're
episodes.
Hajime no Ippo or Kids on the Slope.
Or
Unless you're
Blue
good.
Lock.
Or-
Yeah, you got to be good. That's the thing. You got to be
watch
good.
the 7th episode of Blue Lock, didn't we?
Yeah, kind of accidentally, but it was really good.
It's true.
I'm glad we did. I I almost as a bit put on the 7th episode of this show, and not even as a bit could I bring myself to do it.
Like, I mean, it would make sense a little bit insofar as like there are 7 episodes present. Like we would be, you know, at the time of recording, you know, finished with it, so to speak.
Get caught up. Speaking of finished, to get close to the end, episode 6 ends on a cliffhanger. The vending machine boy is falling, and he's like, "Oh no, I'm worried," and blah blah blah. I choose to believe he's dead. That's my canon.
Remind me that I know you're right, but like remind me the situation. What happens to cause him to fall?
The fucking crocodile thing dies, and then there's like a schism shift or whatever, and he just starts to fall through the ground. And I choose to believe he's dead. I know I talked a bunch about episode 7. He's dead to me.
I think he survives the fall, using his barrier, sustains a lot of damage as a result. But then he's like low on points, and Leviticus is gonna come down and is gonna like find him at great personal peril, and that's gonna like really show to him how much he means to her, and that's what's going to like spark his romantic interest in her, I think, like beyond, you know, just finding her attractive. I think he's gonna be, because he's already like lamented once or twice, like, oh, she's hugging me but I have no hands to hold her and no mouth to tell her that I'm okay or whatever. But like, I think that's gonna start where the real pining starts, and he goes like, I wish I was a boy again so I could hug this titty lady.
Yeah. Titty lady. I guess to give the show one piece of credit, because I think one piece. I guess to give your one piece of credit to Netflix, to give it one bit, is we were perpetually terrified that he was going to stop being a vending machine and turn into like a vending machine boy.
I wasn't terrified. I was resigned to that fact. Like, I knew it was gonna happen.
That's the proper term to use. And when like the robot thing went berserk in like the 5th or 6th episode, I was.
You said at the moment that thing came on screen, it's like, oh, that's it.
That's it. He's gonna turn into that thing. He's gonna transform it into a sexier looking thing, but that's it.
They do prepare us for that, because they pull a funky little Full Metal Alchemist moment on us. They're like, look, we made this machine that has thoughts and feelings, and then the machine's like, kill me, and then they're like, oh no, they put a human soul in a machine that's really not good, and then they have to like kill it or whatever. But yeah, like they already set up like, oh, you can take a human soul and transfer it to this metal body. Yeah. What if you take it from one metal body to a more human metal body? I'm sure you'd appreciate it. So like that's gonna happen.
Okay,
for sure.
Let me hit you with this.
Hit me.
Will vending machine be turned into a man and have a relationship with Linguini, or is Linguini going to get heinously injured and turned into a vending machine and have a relationship with vending machine? Which direction does it go?
Which way, Western man? I wish so badly that it was the second one, but I'm almost positive it's the first one.
All right, I'll keep up with the Wikipedia. I'll find
let
out.
Me know. You're gonna download the light novels.
Every episode here on out is just going to be this. Here's what happened in the last few episodes that I read on Wikipedia.
It's good. Like it's keeping up with an anime like that is a real thing.
Just there to spoil it for anybody like tuning in on a random episode.
I would do that with Samurai Flamenco, which was a shonen anime I despised after a certain episode. I've talked about it on the podcast before. It was really great, and then it just jumps the shark so hard so fast. But my brother kept watching it for a really long time, and he actually had a very similar reverse experience with Kill la Kill. So we did a little culture exchange. I would watch the new episode of Kill la Kill, he'd watch the new episode of Samurai Flamenco, and then we'd tell each other about it. And so like he'd tell me about it, and I'd be like, God, that fucking sucks. And anyway, here's what happens in Kill la Kill. He's like, God, that fucking blows. And like, that was just how we experienced those two animes.
Those two things. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with doing a little bit of hate watching.
Oh yeah.
I'm not gonna do the spoil thing because I have no ill will towards Vending Machine Reborn fans. If this is your jam, it's not mine. if it's your thing, thanks for listening somehow to this point without leaving.
Yeah,
But,
honestly.
yeah, I don't know why you would stick around through that, but
Doesn't take that long to call us a slur or whatever.
yeah, honestly, man, the comment section's right down
Typing
there.
Speed up. No, thank you for watching. If that's far, regardless of what you like.
Yeah, no, I definitely appreciate it, and yeah, if it, you know, we can get into the reviews. It's not my jam.
Yeah,
It's definitely somebody's, right? Either like you love comfortable isekai, and if that's your thing, that's your thing, or you have a weird, borderline uncomfortable fascination with vending machines. Either thing, that's not me. This is giving. I'm giving this a total garbage from me.
it's giving total garbage.
It's giving total. This show is giving total garbage. Yeah. Our rating system. Keep watching. And total garbage.
Yeah.
I have given it the bad one.
I will give my rating, but I'm going to tell a little story first. When I first got back into anime, because I watched it in high school, like Inuyasha and stuff on Adult Swim, but then when I first got into it, like proper, I found the Crunchyroll app, and Crunchyroll was just a pirate site to me for a long time, so I didn't know that there was an app. But I downloaded it, and I saw that there was the Beautiful Joe anime on there, and so I bought a premium subscription to watch Beautiful Joe. That anime sucked, but it was fucking terrible. But since I had this thing already, I was like, oh, let's see, like, what's going on with anime these days? Like, I haven't seen an anime besides, like, I don't know, Gurren Lagann and Haruhi Suzumiya or whatever since, like, you know, X amount of years. So I checked it out. And a lot of what I watched was just kind of boilerplate garbage. Just like, I don't mean to say garbage like it's bad, but like very uninteresting, like watch it and forget it immediately, just kind of like boilerplate type stuff. And I had a lot of fun doing that. Like I didn't have a whole lot going on that summer, and I just kind of fucking watched that shit. And this kind of takes me back to that, like that college summer vacation, like just sort of it's a thing to put on. I ain't got anything else going on. Let's see how do you make this into an anime? And like, as kind of not great as it is, I do respect it for that. Like I do like appreciate that it brought me back to that time. And for that, I will give it a meh.
Okay.
I'm not going to keep watching this. I'm not even going to lie and say I'm going to keep watching this.
Yeah.
But if I were 20 years old and I was on summer vacation from community college and just didn't have a whole lot going on, yeah, I'd probably keep watching it.
Yeah, I think I'm glad you gave it that preamble, because if you would have just gone straight into I would have been like, you're a psychopath. What? Like, I get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that is the whole thing. I've been very negative about it because I hate it, but this is somebody's jam. Like,
yeah.
I don't think there was anything in it that I'm like so offended by, other than it being mediocre, that I'm just like, yeah, fine. It's not my thing. You know, it's weirdly horny, but it could have been more heinously horny. It had some opportunities to be really bad, and it wasn't.
It honestly, like, with regards to the whole sex factor of it, is like, yeah, it brings up a lot of like sexual content, but like none of that really ends up coming from or really even being about the female characters in it. Like, they're kind of present for it, but like what's her name? Lazarus.
Luigi.
Luigi's Mansion 3 she doesn't really do anything overtly sexual or really have anything overtly sexual done to her besides like that kid calling her booby monster or something.
Yeah.
Once. And like same thing with the engineer lady. Like, yeah, some guys come in ideally with theoretically with the desire to, you know, do some sort of sexual violence or something towards her, but like, you know, even that gets thwarted before she even wakes up.
Yeah.
There's fan service insofar as Lazarus has like kind of a skimpy top, but like otherwise, yeah, I don't know. It's a bit more tactful, I guess, than I've seen a lot of others like sexual, like, you know, subject matter of a sexual nature handled in anime.
Yeah, it especially looking at the original design for Linguini, it's like this show could have leaned into the horny factor a lot more.
Yeah.
Right? Like the Linguini does have some cleavage, but she's not like jumping around and like just tits bouncing everywhere.
Yeah.
Or whatever, and like, not that there would be, maybe that would even make the show more exciting, but it would also make it even weirder.
Yeah.
No, it would. I don't. Yeah, I admire the restraint of Vending Machine show. Like,
yeah.
I think especially a studio that did World's End Harem. Like, it feels like they would have. I'm surprised to see them actually like take it back a bit.
I read the synopsis of World's End Harem. Do they fuck on screen in World's End Harem?
They might.
Yeah.
I never really watched it.
That makes sense. Every once in a while, Crunchyroll gets a series where I'm like, this is kind of hentai.
I think it's one of those ones like Hotel Reviewer Isekai or something, and there's a couple other ones where it's like the intention is it's censored and it's borderline hardcore, but it never really like crosses that like
they don't
line
show the
fully.
point of entry.
Exactly. Yeah. But
it's like R-rated movie rules.
Yeah, and it's all censored, and the idea is that you're supposed to buy the uncensored Blu-ray down the line. And I think World's End Harem was one of those, but I am not positive. I don't actually know that much about it. I just know it had a boobly lady on the thumbnail for it.
That sounds right. Yeah. I'm just like, I'm so like intrigued by that. Like, just like
that's the next episode. All right, you called it.
Like, why does that end up on Crunchyroll? Like, there's a million different like ecchi series and stuff or like hentai series and stuff like that just don't end up on the actual like anime streaming services. But for some reason, that one did. Why?
I think Crunchyroll. My theory is Crunchyroll is kind of a like signing up and getting the licenses to stream stuff before the idea is fully finished, right? Like Studio XYZ is like, hey, we're going to release a show. It's going to be like an isekai, and it's going to have a fun cast of characters. And they're like, dope. Yeah, we'll totally get those streaming rights. Especially while they're like early or cheap or whatever, right? And then the show comes out and they start working on it, and then they're like, oh, hold on, right? Because like that was what happened with I believe it happened with this show. I'm not going to get the name right, but it's like Isekai Hotel Review or whatever. It was like a mondo ecchi, like basically hentai. And so far as I know, too, you can really only watch it on hentai websites now.
Really?
But it got a sub and dub on Crunchyroll for the first few episodes before people were like, oh, hold on. I don't think this is just anime. I think this might be a slightly different genre.
That happened with I actually real fucking cursed shit. I watched probably most of an anime called Yosuga no Sora, which was it was like kind of your boilerplate romantic harem type anime. But the main character had a sickly little sister, and I didn't think that was going to go anywhere, and then it super went there, and I was like, oh no, I turn this off, scroll laser. Like, yeah, but like the weirdest thing about that was it had like, yeah, it was the movie rules. It's like they're fucking on camera, but you can't see any of the bits,
Yeah.
And I was just like, why is this like when I got to the first sex scene just flashbanged me out of nowhere. I was like, I just thought this was like regular old like, oh, doing regular romance stuff, and then all of a sudden they are fucking, and I'm like,
that's such a good way of putting it. Because I can imagine like recoil, like and like hearing that sound too. Just like, what is this?
Tinnitus hums.
Yeah.
I'm fucking like trying to fucking figure out where I'm at. You can't fucking see shit yet. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was out of nowhere. But yeah, that shit happens on Crunchyroll sometimes. Just like, but no, that makes a lot of sense what you're saying, like the timing of it.
Well, and the other thing too is like that stuff is like popular as well. Like that's all, like there's also that element to it, right? Like it's not just somebody had a big goof 'em up, right? Like it's also like there was a show that had some controversy a little while back called My First Girlfriend is a Gal, and
I've heard
that one's very boobly as well.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Very fan servicey. Fan servicey is what I should be saying instead of boobly. But very
Bublé,
fancy.
that's a singer, right? Michael Bublé.
But yeah, Michael Bublé. Yeah. He was all over that show. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know. To give Vending Machine show credit, he doesn't turn into a boy and they don't fuck.
Yeah. And like, what I was saying earlier about like the lady characters in Vending Machine, like I'm not trying to say that like women can't be sexual on in fiction or animation or whatever. It's just like I feel like like a lot of fan service anime is just kind of like it's like grabbing this woman shaped doll thing and like shaking it, like it's you grabbing keys with tits and shaking them in front of the viewer's face, just like, oh, look at this, there's boobs, and they're like, oh great, yes, love it,
Yeah, especially since we're watching like a lot of shonen anime, which is like
Very true.
The teenage boy anime. It's like
gotta-
you just come into that all the time. You
Yeah.
know? You don't see respectful depictions of women. I guess that's what we want. Respectful depictions of women.
Yeah. Is that so much?
With or without boobs.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think it's probably high time we get like another like girly one in. I think the last one does Utena count, or is the last one we watched like Nana?
I would count Utena.
Yeah.
That's pretty girly.
It's pretty girly.
But it's pretty shonen-y too. I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's get a proper shoujo going,
Or shoujo or josei or seinen is the boy version.
That's the man show.
Yeah. There's shoujo, and then I think it's josei. I'm pretty sure.
Josei. I'll trust you.
Yeah.
You could be right about that one. And also josei is the 15th horoscope. Just in case anyone, obviously there's only 15.
Didn't think about that.
Yeah.
No way, Josei.
No way, Josei. Josei's Bizarre Adventure. Is that a JoJo's reference?
Is it?
Yeah,
It's
you'll
not
never
what we're
know.
gonna watch next. Just spoil that for you right
Yeah,
now.
yeah. Everybody knows what JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is. You don't need our opinion.
That's true. Remember when that was niche? Like
That is. No, I don't remember.
Really?
Like I do, but it feels like 100 years ago that it might as well have been like a fever dream that JoJo was not the biggest show ever.
Yeah, like I remember being like 2010 or something like that. I like one of my coworkers was into JoJo's, and like I had heard the name before, like seen it on like a forum or something once, but like I was like, oh, what's JoJo's about? And then I think he showed me something, like he like showed me one of the paperback books or something. I was like, all right. I was kind of done with it. And then and then it blew the fuck up a few years later. It's crazy.
Well, there was like two waves of it too, because it was kind of unknown. Then it got really big, and then it got really big.
Yeah.
Like it kind of went from, and it was because there was like basically like pre and post the outro meme, to be continued. Like when that meme
the
took
Roundabout
off,
song,
that show got huge.
That's true. I think also like that was pretty close to the time, or I think that was a direct result of the part 3 reboot happening. The the one that like a lot of people, if you think of JoJo's, it's probably that one. The one that pops in your head.
The one where he goes on a bizarre adventure.
Yeah, that one. Yeah. So you have heard of it? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I don't know where I was going with all that. Watch something real girly next time.
Yeah, we'll
think
figure
we need
something
to do.
out.
I think I had something in my head and then I forgot it.
Yeah.
As far as like what girly anime to watch.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna Google girly anime
See what
later,
comes
and I'll just watch. We'll just watch whatever the first thing that comes
There
up
you
is.
go.
Yeah.
It's probably Sailor Moon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Sailor Moon.
Me too.
Yeah.
I think the original Sailor Moon is it's the art direction and backgrounds and stuff like that really nice. Hold up really well.
Yeah. Yeah. And I've heard good things about Sailor Moon Crystal. You don't need us to give your opinions on that stuff.
That much actually.
You didn't like it.
I didn't. Yeah. It felt. I don't know.
Hot take.
Important to me. I heard the one after they rebooted it again after Crystal, and I've heard really good things about that one.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Crystaller.
Crystal. Yeah. Hate Sailor Moon. Crystal 2.
Crystal 2.
Sailor Moon Diamond is unbreakable.
Oh shit. Well, I think we've hated on vending machines long
We've
enough.
hated on vending machines. You hated
I've
on
hated
vending
on vending
machines.
machines. I think I'm actually like starting to cool off a little bit.
That's good.
Now I'm just sitting in my rage sweat. I guess we should get into the final part of the show, which is plugs. Plugs. Bakari, what do you got going on?
My album is still on streaming services and expected to be there for the foreseeable future.
Yeah.
So you can search up Pockets by Octomammoth on Napster or Deezer or Amazon Music or Apple Music or Spotify or Tidal or there's some other like international ones that I had never heard of and don't remember the names of. But you can any of those, you can find my album on it. Check it out. Very happy about it. Stu did the album art. Sick.
It's a great album. So
yeah, thank you.
yeah.
Otherwise, you can find me on x.com/8mammoth. 8, the number 8.
Oh no.
And then Mammoth, the extinct megafauna. That's about it, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have all this in the description there
Indeed.
too if you just want to click. I don't know where you find. Oh, I guess I'm on Instagram all the time now, so I'm just like it's just my full name. That'll be down there, Stuart Parkhurst.
There you go.
Fun stuff there. We have a Battle School Dropout X, but I was the one who was posting there, and I don't have Twitter on my phone anymore, so
Do I have to take over?
yeah, you might need to take over in the interim. I will only post on it when we post a new episode, so I can.
I'm not going to do engagement posts.
Yeah, come on, dude. I need you to boost our engagement with this show.
Say something nice about this anime, and then like picture of Bleach or something.
Yes, please.
That's how people farm likes and stuff these days.
Only real fans will retweet this, and it's like pregnant Naruto.
Yeah. Gotta love Mpreg Naruto. I think they're doing like a time skip. I saw something about like there's a time skip for Boruto.
Naruto's getting a time
Naruto
skip?
is pregnant. Yeah,
that's good.
Well,
for
he's
him.
pregnant now, so post time skip he'll have given birth already, like a seahorse.
Is Boruto still a thing?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah, you can.
What about Inuyasha Boruto?
Oh, Yashahime.
Yeah.
I think there might be a future episode or season. I'm not certain. I watched the first episode, thought it was neat, and then didn't continue it.
Were you an Inuyasha guy?
I loved Inuyasha as like a late middle schooler, early high schooler. Oh, like because I was like, I watched like Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, things like that as like a young kid, and then didn't really follow like because I didn't even know what anime was. That was just cartoons.
Yeah,
it came on. You know, Digimon came after Teacher's Pet or whatever. Same shit to me, right? And then, yeah, in like 2004 or 2005 or whatever, like I turned on Cartoon Network because I didn't get cable or satellite for a long time. We got satellite TV when I was in middle school. And yeah, I watched an episode of Inuyasha, and like that was the first time I saw anime even attempt to be serious. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
That was huge to me.
Yeah.
That very much put me on the path I'm on now. Like I'm not some huge Inuyasha head. I didn't see every episode. I just caught what I could find on TV. But like if Inuyasha was on, damn sure I was watching it. Yeah.
I love that experience of watching anime where you're watching like every 5th episode at best. Yeah. Didn't quite click for me, but it did for I had basically the same experience. I just didn't stick with it.
Sure.
No, you know what? I take it back. Even when I didn't like Inuyasha, I was watching Inuyasha if it was on.
Exactly. The ending theme songs were fantastic. There was I would always bitch and moan about the character Miroku. Ooh, what was that? I knocked my headphones over. The character Miroku, he has the like wind tunnel in his hand. Like, the wrappings off, and
like
then
the monk
it's
guy.
like yeah. And then he like it's like a black hole and it sucks in all the enemies, and like. The episode after they introduce him, Naraku goes like, I have these bugs, and if you swallow up these bugs with your wind tunnel stops working. And Miroku's like, fuck. And so like every single time some bad guys show up, like I was watching an episode with Felicia like a month ago, and like it's like clockwork. The bad guys show up. Oh no, there's a bunch of demons, and Inuyasha's doing his attacks, and Sango's throwing her big boomerangs around, and then Miroku goes like, "I'll take care of this wind tunnel." And I turned to Felicia. I said, "Watch this. There's some bugs that are about to show up, and it's gonna make it so that Miroku can't use his wind tunnel anymore." And then as I finished that sentence, the bugs showed up, and I was like, "There it is. What a great character."
There it is.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool when you give somebody something really powerful so that they can never use it.
Yeah. It's like, what if every episode of Justice League had to have the scene where somebody shows up with kryptonite to just say fuck Superman?
Yeah. Really compelling stuff. Yeah. I thought the whole thing with his hand was always that it was like the more he used it, eventually it was going to like swallow him up.
Like that too, probably, but he's never going to get the fucking chance because the bugs keep showing up.
Because he's like, if anything, the bugs are like, dude, calm down.
Yeah, we're doing this for your own good.
Yeah, dude. Like they're like he lights up a cigarette and they also like knock it out of his hands.
Go jogging. Keep doing your
jog.
wrist exercise. Don't eat so much red meat.
You've been on the computer for too long. Walk around a bit.
You're not getting enough sleep. Talk to a therapist. Stress can be very harmful to your health.
We've lined up these medications and vitamins for you. We think they'll be helpful.
Think you have an omega-3 fatty acid deficiency.
You've had enough coffee today. Should you switch over to tea now?
I like his little doctor. I wish I had a little doctor bug. Just,
But he's like just
bug me
gross
to
as
do
hell.
this.
Yeah. It's like, I don't want to take advice to him because he looks weird.
Yeah. I love that idea. That's an anime idea right there. I'd watch that.
Reborn as a bug doctor.
There you go.
You're welcome. Japanese studio somewhere.
If Oshinoko, if the guy was reborn as a bug instead of a kid, then would have been that.
Is that Detective Conan? Oshinoko?
Oh, Oshinoko is the one with it aired last season. It was the one about the idol who gets killed, and yeah,
Okay.
it's really good. I
Never
finished that. I am current on it. I'm waiting for the next season.
You're not current on any. Keep watching at
Hell
Battle
no.
School Dropouts.
No, I am current on Jujutsu. No, I'm not.
No, you're not.
Season 2 came out.
Yep.
Shit.
And if you say keep watching, that means you have to watch every episode forever.
Every
And
episode
you're-
on release day.
So when you said keep watching Jujutsu Kaisen, you committed to the next 500 episodes of that show.
I don't know. It's gonna hit 500. I think it's gonna hit a solid 80.
It's too popular.
guess.
It's too popular, dude. It's gonna keep going forever.
So
It's gonna get bad, like My Hero Academia apparently did.
So
And
is Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer's still in 50.
yeah, Demon Slayer's
Ballpark.
never gonna die.
Remember,
Remember,
did I tell you I watched a lot of Demon Slayer?
Well, I don't want to hear your opinion on it because this is the most neutral on Demon Slayer podcast out there.
That's funny because I'm fairly neutral on. I think
Good.
I think it's I had a good time watching it, and that's about it.
Yeah, I had a good time watching it, and I had a bad time watching it. I had a neutral time watching Demon Slayer.
There you go.
Because this is the most neutral on Demon Slayer. It's not bad, but I don't understand. I don't understand the appeal.
It's fun.
Yeah.
He cuts the demons up.
He does. There's that episode where he has to cut a rock in half,
Oh yeah.
and he does a good job.
That is kind of where the show starts picking up as far as action goes.
Yeah. I mean,
That's where he learns his
I watched more.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I watched 6 episodes or so.
6 episodes past that, or 6 episodes total?
I don't know.
Because that's episode 4 or something.
Yeah, I know. I watched more, and I was like, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, I think it gets a whole lot more impactful after that, like the action and stuff like that. The Mugen Train arc / movie has a real good fight scene in it. Maybe not.
I think it has a pretty neutral fight scene in it. I think it was fine.
Might change your mind once you watch it. You never know.
We'll see.
Does
We'll
it train?
see.
You know.
Listen, I've committed to this bit. It doesn't matter.
Can't stop.
It doesn't. I could have changed my mind, and I would still commit to this bit.
That's fair. I respect that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is how we will be forever.
There we go. Battle School Dropouts. Demon Slayer is a show you can watch on Crunchyroll and Netflix.
That's our new tagline. We are no longer a show about friendship and anime. This
Welcome back to Battle School Dropouts. Demon Slayer is a show you can watch on Crunchyroll and Netflix. My name's Bakari. See, there we go. It flows.
Perfect. Yeah. My name's Stew. Welcome. Fuck, that's good.
Yeah.
I think that's the up.
I think so.
Yeah.
Wait. Yeah, okay, you plugged yourself. Okay, yeah. We're done.
Yeah.